So we're heading into the weekend, Sharif. Send it over to the big boys.
Hey, what up? I'll be here in a minute. No, I was actually just looking at one of the worst names today, because in the chat, and I'll let everyone roll in, but I was just having a chat back and forth with a couple of people in there about some of the small cappers, and some that were good and some that have been really, really bad today. But overall, I think we were due for an inside kind of day. It feels like that's the case, right? Like we got the V shape. We're not really taking out the highs, nothing too crazy. So I think it's a constructive day. We didn't get a bad number this morning when it came to inflation, but I still think it's probably a little bit surprising the way that we dipped at the open, man. But who cares? As long as the market is buying dips, then I think we can all be happy customers. No questions asked. Oh my goodness, like Nasdaq at the highs, Intel at the highs, Tesla at the highs, SoFi not at the highs. OpenDoor down 5%. I was talking in the chat about LAC, which I hadn't even looked at it, and because it was kind of off the radar today. It's down 13% today. I guess sometimes that happens, like when the market decides to bleed, like not everything catches the bid with the V-shaped recovery. So yeah, you had to pick your spots. OpenDoor, as I said, hasn't been very healthy. OpenDoor was cruising for a V-shaped recovery. Now look at this sucker. Now it's even down 5% again. But it gave you some good bounce. Just had to be really, really patient about it. The chips, there was bad news. I don't know whatever. I'd call it like somewhat, if this is going to load up. Seriously, Nvidia? My chart's on the weekend. It was bad news. But you see how long that took to load up? And anyways, Nvidia like trending down pretty much all day, and then now you're catching the bid. So it's been a nice, gentle rise on some names, non-existent on some small caps. But overall, as long as you were patient with trying to work that long trade, I think you're absolutely fine. So it's one of those where like it worked out really well, but I'm just mad at myself over SLV because I don't know. It's the first time I've ever traded it. It just went a little.
You want to talk about don't be too mad about yourself. I mean, those happen. That's a great trade, and those things happen all day, every day. I have right here. We have 16.
It's a program.
I know. We have. I think this might be a program right here.
It is a program.
$16 in the money on Tesla, still going to the upside. Like, what's up with that?
Oh, my Tesla chart crashed.
I don't have as many shares left there. You want to talk about here's Marvell. We actually had shares again down here at 82. We basically took out the very bottom of the day there on Marvell. So now that's up about $2 from where it was. Oh yeah, and then you want to talk about getting out at the bottom of the day again? There's WeBull getting out there at the bottom. But welcome everybody.
You want to see jokes?
If it involves getting out too early. Then.
No. This is my Tesla chart. Where I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
So see the circles?
It's scrolling, yeah.
So I've had Tesla up the entirety of the day. I'm like, man, Tesla really stopped moving at the high of the day. Or no, my chart is just in the process of crashing, so I need to restart it. But look, everybody, now that you're matriculated in, I do want to remind everybody as I get that out of the way. Let's just get this started. Actually going to restart this right now.
Yeah, restart that thing. We can even wait a couple minutes. How many people are here?
Well, I mean, it's 2:04.
My thing never transfers over.
Oh, I manually do it to make sure.
I know, I had to.
So make sure I'm in the chat. So make sure you're jumping in the chat. But I did the fresh start. Oh, you know what? I remember I have to full screen it and then do fresh start. There you go. So $, whatever your symbol is going to be. So whether that's, all right, Gary, I saw Gary put in BlackBerry and we were talking about BlackBerry for some reason. Oh, you know what we're going to throw in there? We missed an opportunity and we're talking about this. $AEXA. American Exceptionalism, what is it actually called? American Exceptionalism Acquisition Corp. This is the newest way that Chamath is going to be making money. This thing. Yeah. SPAC, new SPAC today. You could have taken the open and been pretty good. Which sandwich you got? I got
I got turkey or something, but there's leftover egg salad ones, and Joe was just like, "What's up with those? Why, you want to get one?"
Turkey was okay.
I like egg salad. You don't like egg salad? Well, you don't like a lot of
What's wrong with egg salad?
Who knows? This guy never had pie before. I'm not talking food with Joe. It's over with. Okay, it's like talking sports with Obi. It's like,
Yay sports.
That is a punch in the gut. That is low for me to do that.
The Jamaicans love food.
I know, but I just say the pie thing. It has not. Yeah, right. That is a shot. He knows more about food than Obi does about sports. So I shouldn't have gone there. But we know about trading over here, and I mean, today it was a great one for the Tesla. Here's our sticky note: Tesla and WeBull were absolutely fantastic. But whatever, Andre's gone. Oh, there it is, right here. Yeah. So Tesla, the 422. I mean, I love that everybody in the chat is like they're making a lot of money off of this. That's great. Like, I'm glad to have made money on it too, but I didn't make, the word a lot is not in my vocabulary today. I mean, it's good. Whatever, man. It's going to be a good day. We're about 1.5 times the goal here, but it has nothing, it's about 1 times actually. It's not even that big. But there we go. We were only holding like 10% on the way up, so out, and holding a very small piece left of Tesla. Like, you know, it came in right into our levels and then blasted. Got a little gun shy when we got stopped out, basically right here. And then I put on some, but I didn't put on the complete amount of shares that I wanted because I was going to try to hold off for that 420 level. But anyways, Tesla's still $16, man. I mean, you're not going to be able to get the smile off this guy's face. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm almost more like this Marvell. I really, really like Marvell. And I should have maybe been a little bit more like we were into this, man, layered into it, got some out on the pop. And then just there when the market was being run is when we wound up getting out. But again, not that we weren't here for this, but Marvell, I still like the stock. It's red on the day. So, you know, those are just
a lot of stocks are,
there's going to be
a lot of stocks are red on the day that spent most of the day being bought up. That makes any sense?
No, that makes sense. I was going to say, like, just like that, I mean, both of us, right? The SLV trade and then those 3 or 4 trades we just showed you. Yeah. It's kind of just like, those trades happen every day. Like, honestly, it's just a matter of, like we keep saying, you got to get the right trades into your account at the right time and then just trade them accordingly. Like, you know, you don't expect SLV to go, I don't know how far it went, $2 or whatever that was. We don't know. I don't know if Tesla's going to go $16.
Oh, and I've literally never traded this before.
Yeah, but even if you did, I mean, you still follow your rules. And that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, if I have a $1.20 stop on this trade for Tesla and it goes up in the money $3, I'm most likely emptying most of it out because that 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio is great. It's just like, we look back and every day I seem to have these monster winners, and the reason why we don't have monster losers is because we get out. So it's that mentality that I'm also using on getting out of winning trades too. It's like, okay, we've got a big winner here. It's in the money nicely. It's 3-to-1. It's 4-to-1. It's at some key levels. So we're stopping out. Like, I'm getting out. You know, so it's like just like why we got out at 430 on Tesla, right? $8 in the money. I don't know it's going to go 16, but always try to hold something for the dream. People saying Oracle's dropping right now.
Again?
Is that true?
That stock can't get, this thing can't sustain a bid. This is ridiculous. It
284?
lost 290. That's
I almost
bad.
think this is a buy.
It's getting a little bit ridiculous with Oracle.
I mean, they missed on the quarter.
Come
Here's
on.
Oracle right here. It's back down below now. It's back below this level, this gap fill level.
Yeah, this is not good.
295. Okay.
I don't
know. I don't like that, man. I don't like the way this is looking here. Because if that ever happens to Nvidia, like if that happens to, if we come in on Monday and there's a bad story here about Nvidia, like, and you lose levels here, like you lose this 165, I don't know if we stop until 145, 150 here, and that's going to hurt a lot of people. Like, because no one's selling Nvidia.
You know what this is? So Nvidia is Lamar at the end of the game, and Lamar hands the ball to Henry, and Henry is going to be Oracle, and Oracle fumbled the ball.
But that is possible because
that is exactly what's happening.
Nvidia is Derrick Henry, actually one of the best stocks and running backs of all time. Okay,
this is a fumble.
Now he's Derrick Henry never fumbles,
and now he always.
Now it's fumbled in 3 straight games, costing his team 2 times. So that's what I'm saying. Nvidia could fumble here.
Thank you, by the way, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Because the Bills.
Well, the Bills were making the playoffs anyways. That was a nice win. The Bills were making the playoffs anyways. The problem is, one of the Chiefs or the Ravens are 1-3 after this weekend when they play each other. That's
I
like
mean, one of
them.
It's the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, right. Whoever wins or loses. I
don't even know where the game is.
I mean, as long as
but
the
we
refs
know
are
where
employed.
we got to get up to the. I guess it'll be the desk. Because I assume Sharif is ready. I can't tell. There's a pillar in
Ready,
between.
Sharif?
Did we get the okay?
Yep, I think we're getting the okay.
Let's go
there.
to Sharif. Get this rundown started.
Don't talk about Cowboys.
Okay, let's start by looking at the four major averages. They're all in positive territory, leading up here with the ES up 0.42, trying to reclaim 6,700 points. Likewise with the NQ, marginally up 0.2, the worst performing of all four major averages on the day. The best performing major average is the Dow, trying to reclaim 47,000, and then the Russell 2000 continues to try to reclaim 24.5, trading a little less than 0.2% on the day. WeBull is the #1 ticker, as is selected by you guys. 1541 high, no news.
I mean, no news, but I mean, this was on. I'll just talk about it quickly because I had the trade, but it was the #2 idea on the sticky note today. So I agree. I don't know. I didn't even write down any story. I just said up here in the AM, trying to break off of 14. Let's dip by it until it breaks 1450. So we had WeBull today. And it was a good trade. Like, I don't have any problems making this trade here, but like it opened up the day at 1540, and I was like, we'll take 1450 if it comes in. You know, I wasn't gonna hold it too much past that. It does go to 1430. I feel like the next area of resistance or support in this situation was all the way down here anyways at $14. So I feel like it wasn't necessarily a missed opportunity or anything here with WeBull. It's just, it broke. It got too aggressive there. And looky. Next time, I got to do a little bit better. Look at this candle right there, right? This is the big candle that we got stopped out on. So if I see a volume candle like that and then we retake that level, that's probably the go. But then it comes back and tests again. So I don't know.
But it was
tricky trade there for WeBull. But we had it on here. So to Sharif's point, I agree, man. Like if he couldn't find a story, I wasn't even looking for one. It was just a technical move, and there it goes. So
we mentioned this yesterday that this stock has broken the 50 on the daily now.
That wasn't even my sticky note that I held up.
Like it's broken. It's now closed above the 50, and barring some kind of a absolute disastrous afternoon, it's going to close above the 50 period on the daily again. I traded it after it broke VWAP because why not? Like it just started into this on somewhat good lunchtime volume breaking away, and once it got through VWAP, it was also breaking out back above yesterday's high, so scalped it a couple times, and now it's falling asleep. But it doesn't matter because it seems like it's going to close above the 50. That gives it a secondary run here on the daily, which 18 to 19 bucks seems like the reasonable target. So I guess we're going to close this on Monday as long as we're holding the 50 period moving average. I think you go for the second leg up, and we're looking 18 to 19 on WeBull, which is trying to do what the other fintech names did.
Tesla, the best performing Mag 7 name on the day, up 3 1/5 with multiple upgrades today by rating agencies. Deutsche Bank liking their deliveries number, saying it's going to come in at the higher end, about 193,000 for Q3. Separately, Deutsche Bank likes the expansion into the robotaxi, Elon Musk's pay package, and the share repurchase program.
No crash.
All right.
Oh, it didn't crash.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get my Bluetooth to work here, but okay. So quickly on Tesla. So look, I can show you my sticky note again here, but it's all the same thing. Tesla's the #1 trade on there. We've been tweeting about it all day. There it is, 422 to 423 long. So we're still in this. It's $16, but we don't have very many shares. It continues to rip to the upside. The reason why we liked 422 to 423 is just simply put, it's right into here. I was looking at these dip buy opportunities in the afternoon yesterday, and basically where we closed was 422. Right into there, this is 423. So I was just giving it a couple dollars. I didn't really want to be part of 420 break because I figured that if we opened the day where we did 428, right, or so, first of all, there was a huge move up to 434. We've taken that out since. And then that move back down in, very, very aggressive, right into our levels. So I'm just learning more and more every day that if things are going to fall into your level like that, you can actually get more aggressive because it's traveled so far that it may retrace back there to the upside. Like, you know, what was right about it, all of a sudden there wasn't like there was a huge story with Tesla, it was just following the market. So it bled all the way down. So we caught a couple longs in between there. We did get stopped at once when it broke 422. And then we were just like, let's just try to go one more time. And we did that. And that's the one that's really paying out for us right now as we get into 437, 436. But like I said, the majority of the outs were right in around here, 426 to 427. And I even tweeted it out, like, how can I hold more? Because I don't know, man, like VWAP is here, the 200 period is here, then right into here, these outs are based on these pre-market levels, so I'm fine taking those out. That's $10, right? And then this level, again, I guess just whatever, it's 431. I put a 430 and a 431. And then I put into here 433 because I was like, we might not get up that high. And boom, now we're just accelerating like crazy train right now is what this stock is on. So, you know, again, like the stock, but don't have enough shares. Glad it was the #1 trade of the day. P&L wise, it's going to be obviously, and just hoping that next time we can hold a little bit more. And I just want to say congratulations to everybody that followed me on that trade, and hopefully you have a little bit more shares than I do. But hey, if you don't, we'll just do it again on Monday.
That's what it's all about, and great trade there. And you can also trade Tesla with BTCC, and you can do it with no excuses and no hacks either in 14 years. 14 years and no hacks. Pretty good. They deliver when others don't. You can trade Bitcoin with up to 500 times leverage. You can trade Tesla, gold, and Forex if that is your cup of tea. And with smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you can trade like them. Regulated in the US, Canada, and Europe, and trusted by 6.8 million plus traders. And we got an exclusive here, Trader TV Live. Scan the QR code you see on screen, or click the link in the description box and grab a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com is where the pros trade, and now so can you. And regardless of whatever strategy you had in Tesla, all roads lead to 440. I had the breakout trade only. Didn't really give a clean entry off 420, but just in and out, managed to get the top of the open move. But sometimes, and I'll talk about it, like sometimes you will take something out. It's like, oh, but you got out early or got out perfectly at the high. And then sometimes it'll make the move right away. And you look like, oh, wow, that was the top. And we look like a genius. But you have to trade your own strategy because that same I'm going from here to here mentality is exactly why, and I'm trying to type in SLV. I feel like one of my keys is a little sticky. It's a good thing I don't actually really type things on here. But it's like the L key is like a pain in the butt on this keyboard. No, and like the same thing that can happen is sometimes you'll do this and you'll get out, and it is not the top. But you have to stick to what your strategy is. Like when I looked at this, I'm like, okay, well, breakout of the high yesterday on silver essentially went a 1% move, just a little bit more than that from the top. So when it made that breakout, I'm like, okay, well, I'll trail out at 1% and then watch it go even more. So whatever your strategy is, just be consistent with it for sure. And let's talk about the door being closed on Open. At least it wasn't as bad as Lithium Americas for OpenDoor.
Down 5 3/4 is OpenDoor with no new catalyst today, but it does have the Jane Street catalyst yesterday, disclosing a 5.9% stake in the company, about 44 million shares. That is after we heard Access Industries was liquidating a majority of their share position, about 10.9 million shares sold on the 12th of September, and then on Monday they sold another 11.4. So institutional buying and selling on OpenDoor.
Yeah, so this one was actually the topic of the lesson of the day, because if you're playing a support and resistance level, you know, sometimes what looks like you've got the bottom just ain't it. And the 2 points about that I was trying to make is, one, if you're getting in off a support level and it's showing you a lower bid, then try to grab yourself a better price if you can, for two reasons. One, it's a better price. Two, then you lose less if it breaks a stop, right? Like, sort of obvious, right? Like if it goes to VWAP, now you're getting a little bit more out of that VWAP move. But then if it breaks a stop, you're losing, you know, a little bit less. That being said, OpenDoor has been a short most of the day. You can always just wait for it to show a little bit more structure. And I'll show you guys LAC in a second. I didn't really trade that, but that has something interesting as well. But when it shows you the higher low, sometimes it can be a little bit distinct. I feel there's a lot of times when a stock is rinsing people that did it. It did a dip buy the day before in a V-shaped recovery, and everyone wants to try and grab the same thing. It's almost like it's going to rinse everybody first, and then it's going to go. So Open eventually made the move and gave you a good up move, but you just had to wait around a long time for it. And it's the same thing with, that's what I think about LAC. Like if you waited all day, it still has yet to put in any kind of a higher low that tries to break it away. Like at no point, it's like, yeah, it's going down and you're trying to catch a bottom here, but there's no point at which buyers start to gain some control and so show you strength off higher lows. And so it's all right to look for something and never find it, so at least you don't have to trade it. And OpenDoor thankfully caught a couple of bids, so I lost in the morning, was able to make it back and go green on it, but I had to wait all lunchtime for it to catch a bid. And this stock literally never did catch one on LAC, so thankfully never traded it.
All right, so new position alert right now. We'll hit it right now. It's IBIT. Okay, so yeah, my Bluetooth is not working there, Andre, so do not message me. Yeah, so we just written on here that we wanted already to go IBIT 6250 long, so let's try it right now. There's the break on Bitcoin, so we're gonna go into it. Obviously, we have Tesla, WeBull, and Intel marked down, but there's IBIT right now, so I want to say thank you to Ryan Nolan. Right here, because I actually wouldn't have even noticed it. I'm battling with this Bluetooth here right now, so I would have missed this. But so thank you so much for that one. So thank you, Ryan. Yeah, my thoughts are I like it. I mean, I was associating that level with 10,000. It looks like we nailed that as well. So so far so good on that. And thank you about that. I don't know if you're talking about yourself here, Mr. Sean Drake, but I do appreciate that if that's me. But goats are fine. I mean, curried goat is really nice. I mean, I think if I was going to have like a, not a shawarma, a roti. Roti. Oh my God.
It's the standard.
Curried goat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I know it's over 62.50, so thanks, Ryan. Yeah, so I'm going to go long right now. I went long at 62. I'm going to get out if it breaks. Honestly, this 50 period is 42. I just put a break of 39s. And then Tesla, I just tweeted this out as well. Like, I just poured that coffee and it's already freezing, so that's not good. Actually, where's my Yeti? Oh, I think it's being washed. I just said right here that we're going to use the 21 period SMA. So go follow me. I'll put this in just so you guys could go. If you're not following, this will just be an easy link. Get it there in the chat right now. And you can go follow if you want. I mean, that's up to you. But I was going to say the 21 period moving average right there. So that's it right here. So I put it at 437 break. So, if we do finally come back in, and I'm just looking at it, it's already a huge runner. Like, honestly, the amount of shares that I have, it could go another couple dollars is not going to make any difference. So right there, a nice move, watching this 21 period basically the whole way. This is a 50 period. The 50 period is much cleaner, so we could use that. If you do think that there's going to be a little bit more run into this name. I'm really happy with the way the Nasdaq has performed today, obviously, as we almost getting back up to sort of that PCE level. So that's something to look at. We're now 3 cents in the money on IBIT. I don't know. We'll see if it goes. But right into here, 240... 24,750 or so are those highs. So I just think it was a nice bottom there, right? And this is where we got stopped out of everything, right here about 10:20 when the market broke those lows and we were just fighting with everything. I mean, yesterday we had a very, very similar fight with Micron. And again, you can go find this battle now 5 cents in the money on IBIT. So far, so good. Yesterday, we dealt with this all morning, and it was the rip up in Micron. And before eventually we waited for it to base and then caught this move back down into 155. So, sometimes you just got to stick with the trades that you believe in and not just hope they work out, but put on the right amount of shares. And if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. So I may actually lower my shares maybe so that I'm not so anxious to get out when wrong. But everything's been working. It's just, you get stopped out and sometimes you look back and it's like, I didn't really need to get stopped out there. But, like Neil mentioned, you follow the plans and, you like best laid plans. And if it goes to the 50 period, the 200 period, whatever it goes to, and that's an area, like right into here, see that 6280? I'm going to get something out ahead of that. So I'm going to put a bid right now at an offer at 62.75. And then if it comes back up here into IBIT, I'm going to probably start to look at 63s. And then if we're lucky enough to get 63.40, fine. So if I'm out and I only have 10% left and this thing's at like up here somewhere, I mean, I can't really complain because these are the levels that we're talking about. It's that same trade in Big Bear AI, right? It goes 650, 750, 850. And then now when it drops back to 650, people are like, oh, yeah, what happened? You know, and that's the thing. You got to plan your day and plan your trades, right? So here's IBIT trying to make the move upside. So we'll put an offer there at 65. And if we're able to get a little bit out, great for 15 cents. That's like the 1-to-1. As I just told you, our out is a break of 40. So let's go to 65 right now. And we'll see if we can get out of... I just offered 15% there, so hopefully that will come out. If it does get back up there, then we have 75 as our next level after that, and then we'll just keep on moving from there. So those are the sort of the game plan. And yeah, you know, if we're out because we have winning trades,
it's a better problem to have. It's a better problem to have than the alternative.
Well, that's why we stop out, right? And that's what I was saying. Like WeBull hits the bottom, stop out. Marvell hits the bottom, stop out. These things are going to hit our levels. We get filled. A fill and a stop out are the same things. It's stocks hitting your. No, but it's.
I always say this: if
stocks hitting your levels is what I mean.
Yeah, and if you have a bad stop out, like if you get wicked out, try to remember, like if you get the bottom wick on a stock, like this is where I put my stop, and it turned, and I ended up making the low of the day. Try to remember, and it goes all the way back to the high or make an incredible run. Two things are true. One, you were looking at the right stock.
I'm offering 60.
B, you were making a decision at the right level as well. We're going to go back to the desk, talk some CoreWeave, but speaking of WeBull, it's bouncing off VWAP again, so I'm taking it off VWAP
We got IBIT.
1.5% in Redsville is CoreWeave after having a good initial move up yesterday on the back of this headline that they're expanding their $6.5 billion partnership with OpenAI now to the tune of $22.4 billion. The company disclosed in March an initial agreement worth $11.9 billion and said in May they would expand the contract to up to $4 billion. It's now at $22.4.
Sorry about that, Sharif. I just said to Neil, I completely forgot that Sharif was there still. I was like, he's like, let's go back over the desk. I'm like, okay, let's see what Adair has to say, but then it was Sharif. So, all right, let's make this real quick. Any thoughts on CoreWeave?
I know I was bearish on it coming in today. For some reason, didn't short it, so that's a fail. We talked about this candle being bad. I can say crap.
Yeah.
Because they got that big deal. You got a big $6.5 billion announcement with OpenAI for a contract, and it responded yesterday by completely reversing the entirety of the move. And you can see resistance at 130. Yeah, that was a few clean shorts. I don't know what I would do with it now. Well, usually if there was actual volume on this, not a lot of liquidity and volume on this right now. Usually you're thinking, okay, if you can't bust through 125, that's prior support. If that ends up holding as resistance, I'd want to short this back through the volume weighted average price. But it's not moving. I would still lean to this feels like that's a reversal candle and we could be bleeding back into the 50 period for CoreWeave. I just don't like it when stocks respond to positive news negatively. So yeah, I think we're in a bit of a rut here for CoreWeave. Market V-shaped. It barely did anything. Probably favoring shorts next week. Don't want to trade it this afternoon. If I'm trading something in tech, I'm actually looking at Intel.
Holy shit, Tesla's
and then,
at 440?
Yeah, I'm looking at WeBull here as well. Like WeBull off VWAP. I'm kind of sitting on the bid right now trying to catch this one. VWAP's been good to this stock. But CoreWeave, that's a pass for me. But on a Monday, I'd favor the short side, at least if it closes the way it is now.
Just quickly here, I have adjusted, and I'm going to go back over to Sharif. I've adjusted my stop now to 438. Okay, like Tesla right now is $18 and ripping. I think the best winner I've ever had on this is $26 or so. So we'll see if that's still possible. But Tesla going absolutely ridiculous right now there to the upside. Okay, Sharif, go tell us about DataVault.
Yeah, DVLT, guys, small cap gap. We were looking at this on the midday show. It's awfully close to the lows of 105, trading at 113. High of day, 138, trading higher as a result of a $150 million investment from Skylux to build a supercomputer. DVLT, guys.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think that's, you know, those kind of stories are good, right? I mean, you're always looking for that investment, especially stocks that are underneath the dollar, right? And I mean, once they get that, then you do get these. It's not like a falsified bump. I mean, it's news, right? And I mean, if they can keep on doing this, the interesting thing to me about this DataVault is, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know anything about the stock because that would be a lie. But right here, this is just what it looks like. and it looks pretty good to me. You know, just these wick highs are really what's bothering, I think what's bothering most of us, and I think, you know, duly stated should be. We've been up here before a few times, and I don't know what kind of a stock. I wonder if this is just our charts or not, but like, no stock IPOs or comes out at $1. So I feel like this is either a split off of another company or something like that. But there it goes. It made some huge moves down into 30 cents. You know, that's catching a falling knife. I don't see how any way you could catch that. The only trade that I would have said you could have maybe done was a break through $1. And when a stock breaks through $1, generally you'll get that little bit of a bump higher. But let's not be foolish here as a group. DataVault has already been up to this exact level, and for some reason, it stopped last time at $1.38, almost like the exact penny, pretty much, right there. So I don't know what's going on right now. Yeah, see, so something. Neil has a weekly chart up of it. Obviously, I think it probably is a spin-off.
It's probably some kind of spin-off, because like you've gotten maybe involving some splits too, or like just because of the old price action on this goes way, way back. But yeah, like the only thing I would add is let's see if it can hold a buck. Like failing a buck and closing over a buck can be the sign of something good. If they defend that price, I think you might have something for next week, but it's really doing nothing here. Just complete sideways action on that bad boy. But you know what? I want to talk some OGen, and we want to thank Orogenics for sponsoring as part of the show, because each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the United States. Still, there is no FDA-approved treatment. And NYSE-listed Orogenics is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orogenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Shout out to Orogenics. And I just kind of keystroked and punched out of all of WeBull there on that bounce. Actually, I know what happened. Yeah. No, I did. The first time I offered once, and then I went to offer again at the highs, and that one I must have mispriced and punched the whole thing out. So I'm going to go back in and try to buy the dip off of the volume weighted average price here on WeBull. But like, it ends up being just a quick 10-cent scalp. But I want to try to buy back into it. It might get fluke that ends up being a little bit of a top, anyways, and then we can get the dip buy again. John Del Segno. I've been pounding the table on Rumble. 715 cup and handle. It's ripping it out. Oh, that's hilarious. Instead of typing Rumble, I actually just typed a rip in the.
I know. I was gonna say, do you type 715 or whatever you do?
Oh, I've done that too. Like I've actually typed in the price or something.
Yeah.
Like an idiot. Rumble 715. You said. What's with the volume spike in the middle of the day on Rumble? Is that anything? Okay, so Adair just said there was news at 12:33 here, or somewhere in the middle of the day. It's not doing that much. Hey, but look at this $7. This might be something. Like, yeah, look, accumulation at $7 again on this stock, because it did the same thing it looks like in March, April. Little nice bottoming tail candle there. So maybe Rumble's going for a little bit of a jaunt. That's not bad, because the 50 period and resistance is at $8. That's not terrible, because if you're in at 715, you might have yourself 10% on just like, a couple of days it slides back up to resistance after double bottoming. I don't know why I would like Rumble, because I didn't hear that news story, but let's go to Adair and find out what happened in the middle of the day on Rumble.
Yeah, I wanted to offer that, Neil. Thank you for that transition, in case you guys were curious, because it actually is pretty interesting. So reportedly, we've got ARK and SoftBank in talks to invest in Tether. Now, why would that be relevant to Rumble? Because Tether has invested about $775 million in Rumble. So Tether, an investor in Rumble, is now getting its own investors, reportedly in the form of ARK and SoftBank, which are in talks for a deal there. That's what sent RUM to the upside. It's a bit convoluted, but pretty interesting. Back to you.
Yeah, Kathy's all in on Tether. But
is she? Why?
Well, she believes in a lot of things. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I don't
understand. Like, I don't really understand that story. Like, I don't know what is she supposed to be doing with Tether?
I don't know. I just know she's been buying, but she's been buying a lot of things. So, the good thing usually is if you find, and I can't remember the last time I listened to a podcast in which she was on. It was a couple of years ago, but I do remember the last time and actually hearing her talk about positions is usually like willing to explain, where and why you got in, like why she sold Nvidia or why she likes this company, and gives a good explanation for it. And then the other thing is just the sheer transparency of that. Like you can go find out like at what price and how much got bought and sold. Like that's like that. I find that pretty cool. So I'll leave it at that. There was something else I was going to get to.
Cathie Wood is known as the destroyer, most wealth destroyer of all. But I don't,
But there's a different. Like,
you look at Arc KQ is the one that I own. The robotics, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's been pretty good. But
you can't blame her. She's doing what she's supposed to do.
It's different from you. Like if by the time somebody rugs it, you have no idea what has happened, as opposed to, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is where I did it, and every step of the way, literally. The day after the buy, you know where the buy was. Not like weeks and months after, like the day after.
Yep.
So I'm actually, the other stock I'm eyeballing is actually Intel, which might have run into a little problem. I got wicked on Intel. We were long most of the morning, and then I had it off VWAP, and if it didn't get me here, it probably and most certainly would have got me on the next wick at the volume weighted average price. And then once it liquidity grabbed under for the final time, it's just been gone. So remember, Intel, they're now asking Apple to buy a stake in them as well. But whether that happens, I have no idea. It's possible, certainly possible, that they could find more investors. But it's bottoming out no matter what. It bottomed out no matter what. And I think it is getting a little bit top heavy, that 37 level.
Breaking news.
Top. All right, let's go to Adair. We got some breaking news, but I'm looking for a reversion short off 36.
Wall Street Journal reporting that EA is nearing a roughly $50 billion deal to go private. EA Electronic Arts pushing to the upside. Looks like this may be halted, unclear, but EA going to be on watch again. Electronic Arts nearing a deal valued around $50 billion to go private. This is significant as well because EA is actually in the S&P 500. Back to you.
That is going to be big.
So you come over to my screen right now. Thank you, Adair, for that. Up 8%. Of course, we saw Activision Blizzard go private as well when Microsoft bought them. So we'll hear what that rumor is right now. Thanks, Adair, for grabbing that. And I mean, I would say look at Take-Two. That's still moving around, right? So TTWO. Right now up 4% and moving as well. There goes Take-Two. Take-Two Interactive, the maker of Grand Theft Auto. We got to go back to Adair, but I just want to show you IBIT. We did average in at the 50-period moving average. So we did get that 64 that we talked about. So that was one out. And we are going to wait for Tesla. We're still in, this is $18 in the money, but we're going to wait to see it break 438 to get back to the downside. What's up, Adair?
Here's part of why this is so significant. So EA, as I mentioned, according to the Wall Street Journal, they're involved in this roughly $50 billion deal to potentially go private. Now, why the valuation matters?
This is like the biggest deal.
The company's current market value is around $43 billion. So they're being valued significantly higher in the terms of this deal, which again, still reported, still in talks. The buyers for the company would include Silver Lake and Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Back to you.
So
big.
Twitter, that's a huge deal. Like this is bigger than Twitter. The X deal.
Yeah.
What was Twitter when it was bought? So I can say the Twitter deal was $44 billion. So this would be massive, absolutely massive. And the other thing it means, if a deal does happen here and it goes private and they close it before the end of the year, somebody gets to go in the index as well to replace EA. So we'll see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, it's halted now. Let me just double check. It's always worth double checking. I'm sure it's halted on volatility, right? We all just saw it go up there. Yeah, it's halted on volatility. So it should open back up in about 2 minutes or so. It's worth double checking. Sometimes you'll get deal news and they'll halt it news pending, even though the news is kind of out. I've seen that happen. It happened on Spirit Airlines, where like the news was out and everybody knew the deal rumor, but they still halted it at the end of the day. And anyways, I always talk about that one because I was longing the stock on the afternoon that it was going up on the deal news. And my last long position, well, they halted it and it didn't open back up. And then the next day, there was no official deal announced and I lost on the overnight position, but there's nothing you can do about it. They didn't open back up in the aftermarket either that day. So just be careful when you're trading. Even if EA opens back up, it's not that it can't halt again. I've seen that happen before. Like it halts again, and then the news on Monday is the actual deal being announced, and you might get caught over the weekend. So just be careful. So I'm into Intel. Ugh. That's kind of annoying. I'm gonna give it to this local prior high, which is just over the 36 level. So that's what I'm looking for here. We'll look to see if it gets down into the volume weighted average price. I wanted to get some 90s and didn't. I ended up getting 88, so I'm gonna throw another offer in the mid 90s, which is where I would rather have my price. And if I get picked up, I get picked up. So into Intel, looking still to try to get back into WeBull, which I kind of accidentally got out of all of it for 10 cents. Gonna look to try to buy back in at 90 and then see if we can't get more in the volume weighted average price. Zero gravity Zen. Is there a normal trend with the buyout like this halt up then downside? There's no such thing as normal because we don't know the terms of the deal. You can trade, see the thing is you can trade buyouts based on the time value of money, the risk inherent in the deal. I do it all the time, and you can figure out what the risk-free value is. You don't know any of that stuff until you actually have the terms of the deal. Right now we just know that they might be taken private and we don't know any specific terms. I've seen times where, and let's just go back to E as I'm saying this, where like this is opening and still going crazy, right? I've seen times where people might buy here and then a deal gets announced on Monday and it's like, oh, the terms are 180 and it's all the way up at 200 and people lose because they gambled higher. I've seen other situations where people buy at 190 and a deal gets announced on Monday and it's a 40% premium and it only went up 20% on the headline. The point is you don't know. I'm sure there's like really connected and really smart people in Wall Street who probably have a decent idea what the premium might look like here, but it's not that simple. So EA's back open, still no terms of the deal here. I try not, like I said, the last time I traded one of these on the speculation, I was up on it, and then it got halted, and I got caught in it overnight, and ended up losing everything that I made on the long, and then some. So I'm not a huge fan of trading them in the afternoon, especially when you don't know, because at any point they could halt this and say there's actual news pending, and the terms of a specific deal could be there. And Ryan, is there Roblox news? My guess is no. My guess is Roblox would just move because they're also in the gaming space. Right, so anything that boosts the valuation, theoretically, if someone decides that EA is worth a 30% premium or 20% or whatever it might be, you're going to get a bump on a Roblox. You're going to get a bump on ttwo a lot of times. So I think it's just a sympathy play here in Roblox specifically. And a lot of times you'll see that. Like if there's a deal in the space, it might lift other ships, for lack of a better term.
All right, so unfortunately we have to talk about trades. Sometimes we'll win, sometimes we'll lose, and there goes IBIT. I don't want to give this much more room than what we're already doing. So averaged in and made the move out. So we've noticed that obviously in the afternoon, especially heading into a Friday, sometimes you don't get the movement that you really wanted to. But Bitcoin also breaks below 110. So I don't know. Bitcoin shouldn't really care about what time of day it is.
ETH broke 4,000.
Yeah, they're all.
So
maybe it's just a short now that we're underneath 10,000. So that was just, that was the main idea. Whoa, Ethereum's actually broke 4,000, did it? Okay.
Oh, that's a trend break.
Yeah, Ethereum's nicely trading to the upside right now. Maybe we can get something in on that one to the downside. All right, I just wanted, that Take-Two, that's why my mind immediately went to Take-Two Interactive because, if EA Sports is going to now get bought out, or EA, Electronic Arts, that should be good for the rest of them. Now, there probably are other video game makers out there. I mean, even a stock like Amazon and all that. Amazon released a couple games. I mean, there's lots of different, pushes and pulls in this space. But yeah, Amazon right now, that could even be a breakout. Well, then you have up here. So we're going to wait to see about that one. But yeah, that's a great
Why
trade.
can't Netflix figure it out? Does anyone play the? First of all, I don't even know if
I don't even know if there is Netflix.
No, they have games. I wonder why they can't make it work better or don't. It seems like such a natural thing for Netflix to be able to pull off. Like my daughter is, there was a point where she was obsessed with Netflix. Mm-hmm. And if done right, I think she'd be all over the games because she's been Netflix all the time. And Roblox then took over, and now there's another. Oh, there's this weird coding site. I forget the name of it. It's not Roblox. It's something else that
I think it's just so expensive to make video games.
Yeah, it's not
your
cheap.
thing.
You might need a partnership. They'd probably need a partnership or something like that because you want to stay in your lane to a certain degree.
Right.
Netflix is very good at what they do. And sometimes you got to focus on that a little bit. So I'm going to jump back Because if I don't get back into WeBull, I'll be very, very patient and jump into the chat. Dijon Mustard saying Microsoft, they own Activision, but
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
They just bought Activision.
They bought them. The thing, that deal was, man, when somebody knows.
Adair said
nobody-
this was Silver Lake and somebody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's to the Saudis. So it doesn't look like it's going to be like a Mag 7 name that takes this one.
No, which makes it why, if you're going private also, you don't necessarily, it's not anybody that you'd be concerned with the deal not going through for antitrust reasons, like the Activision deal did. Although, here's the thing, like the markets when it's a deal are it's like a betting market on whether the deal gets approved. And the betting markets on Activision for a very long time, that Microsoft deal, were saying this deal's not going to happen. And I remember when Buffett was buying it, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if he thinks this deal is going to go through, he seems to be pretty connected. Maybe you should just buy the stock because you could get like 30% or something at one point and didn't do it. And the next time I see a situation like that where like someone in the know is making a big bet on a deal, I mean, the company, even if the deal doesn't happen, the company's not going to completely fall apart. Well, you don't think it will. And if it was like a 30% premium you get on Activision, and then it firmed up like a couple of months after he bought, and the rest is history. And nobody seemed to think that deal was going to go through, and he was pretty right about that one. But yeah, that's
What a surprise.
That's Uncle Warren for
Yeah,
you.
what a surprise.
Well, I'm just
He has
saying,
some inside information.
he's connected, and it's the kind of thing where it's the regulators, so there's like government officials who are in the know of kind of how it's leaning. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not insider information to just be like, hey, Buffett might have a clue here. And this seems like a good premium that you're getting on Activision at the time. Anyways, back into WeBull off the volume weighted average price. We should double check. Gonna double check what's going on with EA here. Fresh high, 17% now. EA 197. So this continues to climb and go higher and higher and higher. I really hope this deal gets done. This would be a big one. Because what's fun about deals for traders is not just trading them, it's also getting somebody new into the index. Like, it's just a guarantee. You close this in a quarter, and we're going to get somebody big coming through with that kind of market cap. We get somebody big coming into the index in December, which is always fun. SoFi? Probably not. SoFi probably not near on the list. It's supposed to be Carvana, MicroStrategy. The odds. The last time was at Kalshi, Carvana, MSTR was in the top 5. There was a couple of others. I had to look it up. But Carvana seems to be the odds-on favorite. It's like 40% or so that they'd be the next company added to the S&P when there's an opening.
Right here, like Duolingo is another stock worth looking at a little bit here. This just came right back in, right into a nice little level, and it's now starting to blast a little bit higher. I was only thinking about this because I was thinking, like, what's another software as service, like, similar to EA Sports. These guys are doing chess. These guys are doing the languages.
Have you seen the chess?
No, I haven't.
Aaron does the chess every night and is telling me I have to buy the stock.
Okay, well then you should buy it then.
No, but I'm not going to buy it from me. I'm going to buy it in her investment account. No, I'm sorry.
Whatever you want to do.
The education account.
Yeah. I like it. I don't know how good it is of a stock, but the levels right here seem to make sense. So 280, huge move down from 540, right? As AI just crushes, I guess, this name. Maybe a little overdone, as they can probably try to use some AI themselves and make their product even better. So a lot of people, this AI revolution, I think, is obviously real.
It hurts them.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That was that move.
I think that's why
figured out.
I think that's why going to things like chess, like going to games, and they do math now. Like she does.
That's
math
why I thought.
as
soon as we saw this EA deal, I was like, maybe Duolingo also has something here as well. Okay,
let's go to Adair.
Over to Adair. Yeah, why not?
We do have some news here. CF Industries breaking out a bit. We do have Wall Street Journal reporting that Trump, the president of the U.S. here, is open to lifting restrictions on the use of U.S.-made long-range weapons inside of Russia. CF Industries pushing to the upside on that catalyst. Before we send you back to the guys, let's take a moment to thank our good friends at Beta Pro by Global X Canada. Exciting news for sophisticated Canadian traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P, TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. But even better, they're offering a special fee rebate. dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize US dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying US equity indices. So if you are a tactical, sophisticated trader who's looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. And Vaughn Clark pointing out, thank you for the super chat. Vaughn, you've said a few this week, so we appreciate you. Unity software as well, getting a bump. So there's a whole swath of names that seem to spike essentially on the EA headline, because it's so big of a name that, if a juggernaut in an industry gets a deal, that is most certainly going to cause a bid on other stocks. It just sort of shifts the valuation. Someone's basically saying, hey, EA is worth 20-30% more than the market's pricing it at, and we're going to put, and some big names are willing to put their money where their mouth is. That's going to shift valuations across the board. You see it all the time, and it also shifts the speculation that you could see further consolidation in the space. So EA, I'll just double check on it before we go back. It doesn't seem to want to break $200, so it's kind of pulling back in here. Since the reopen, it's been mostly buy side. And just to keep in mind, we do not know specifics on any potential deal, right? It could be anything. It could be 10% premium, in which case it could be lower from here. It could be 30%, and then it could be double the move that you've already seen here in EA Sports. So I'm going to play it by ear.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sparkshop saying, oh, that's right, we can look at Nintendo, can't we?
I have it right here, yeah. Well, Nintendo's $21. Okay, I thought this was like $13, but yeah, it's not popping that much. This is what Nintendo looks like on the pink sheets here on the OTC market. Yeah, I was right. I was like, I thought this was $13. Yeah, Nintendo's had a nice move up. Obviously, they had that release of the Switch 2. So, that I think went over well. I mean, it looks like it doesn't look like it was a disaster or anything, but 21 to 24.
Castle loves it.
Back and forth for Japan.
You guys have the new one?
No. We bought PS5 because we wanted to get NHL. Okay, so SMR right now, potentially another looker. That's why. So it's hitting the scanner right here. These scanners are e-signal scanner. And there it is hitting VWAP right now. It's been probably hitting it for a minute. So there's another look right there at 245. I get it. It basically resets every 5 minutes. So if anything's happening, sometimes you'll get the double look on the names and whatnot. So yeah, right now bouncing off VWAP, a nice little support area for SMR. I think the support is a lot lower than that though, 34.35 for this name. And yesterday we had the big mover with Oklo, of course. Oklo, yeah, okay. I was gonna say I always confuse Oklo and IonQ. Wow, okay, another downside day there today for OKLO. Whoops. So, I mean, this is the thing, what goes up must come down, but not all the time. Sometimes stocks can keep on going, and that's what it looked like right here when it was basically going parabolic. This was 73, guys, this is September 11th. This was $73, okay? It goes up to 143 on September 23rd. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, it doubles. So a stock that has a lot of history, right? It's not like this is a brand new IPO to do something like this, but that doubled its market cap, still not making any money, doubled its market cap in how many days I just said there, 11 days or whatever. So now it comes back into reality again. I would think the best spot to think about this is 84.85. I don't know if you're going to get that pull back there for Oklo. So, a couple bad days right now. I always think that $100 is going to be something. Oh, wow. Okay. We may make it back. Did I even discuss this IBIT? I'm not sure. So we were long there, breaking right down here 110, right? Remember we talked about this kind of a trade. I think it was Tony. What's up, Tony, in the chat? Was thinking about a short in this. So this was the long that we took, breaking 110. I thought that, we'd sort of barcoded yesterday from noon. This is yesterday at noon all the way to today at noon. This is 24 hours of basically 1,500. Then it finally breaks above, takes out 10.5, and now we're looking to get a little bit into 11, but that didn't happen. So there's the fade back a little bit. So if the break didn't work one way, then I'm going to try the short the other way. But you know what happened at the first point?
So if you get hit on, is that the 50 period?
Where, this?
No, the green line.
Oh, no, 200 period.
If you get filled on the 200 period, then I will eat a mint cookie. I will make the sacrifice.
I don't want to go up there because
no, down.
Oh, this is the.
No, I'm looking at this. Sorry, I'm looking.
Oh, looking at that one. We're already. Oh, that's a 200. Yeah, 60. Yeah, I'm bidding.
I will make the sacrifice of eating a cookie if you.
Yes.
I completely forgot.
You're eating a cookie regardless.
No, well.
But I do want it to hit that level.
Well, I mean, look, they're unhealthy. We talked about.
Really. We talked about it. There's
talked about sodium is in these.
55 calories per cookie.
Absolutely terrible. But Joe was gracious enough to buy a box of Girl Guide cookies from my daughter. So, and he didn't want them, so we get to eat them. You're right, I was going to eat it anyways.
See?
But I had completely forgotten that we had the cookies that we're supposed to be eating. And let me finish the thought first. So I'm going to put this down, although not on the desk, because the desks were a little dirty this morning because they're doing that paint thing. Came in and had to clean them off. No, I'm going to get VWAP, look for VWAP here on Intel, and maybe take some more out of WeBull, because I think we're pulling back a little bit here. Yeah, WeBull is now not really moving at all. It's really not moving at all on WeBull. So if there's an offer at 15, I'm just going to go $14.99 and see if I can't take it there. I think, and I'm doing this on purpose, hangry wife, oh my God, eat the cookie. I love doing that. And then I'll just tease you even more by putting it to my mouth like I'm going to eat it because it's delicious. I know. It's so good.
I don't mind mint. Like, mint is not, but to have one or two of them, like, it's not overwhelming. Like, the mint is not like, it's not like, oh my God, these are so minty.
Yeah.
Who's back there? Hey, Robert Mark, if you want a Girl Guide mint cookie. Russell, you want a Girl Guide mint cookie? Yes, you do. No, but you can just have one.
No, just have it.
No, I'm good. You don't have to buy one, my guy. Oh, yeah, 5 boxes. Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
This is Russell, the contractor.
This is the guy that's doing all the, not all the work, but most of the work there.
Did Rob want? Rob, did you want one?
He does, but he's busy.
Okay.
He looks like a minion with that thing on. You know, the minions have those.
Yeah.
So you might have guessed we've got a delivery, not of the Girl Guide cookies. Is that 2 or 3? You know, remember 55 calories each. You know, if Sharif was here, I'm just saying. No. You can't offer another man a cookie. Why not? We'll offer whoever
What do you mean you can't offer another?
We'll offer that. What do you mean? This is our show. First of all.
First of all,
what do you mean? I'll offer.
I think. Look. I know what you're getting with that, but
I mean, Andre, anybody, Adair, anybody want a cookie?
Oh, you got to treat yourself every now and then.
You know, Andre, get over here. You want one? No. Just come over and get one anyways.
You sure? Yeah, come on, man.
He said no, but
they're good.
This is called peer pressure.
They're delicious.
There you go. Plus, I want everyone to see Andre again. Who cares if you have a box? Just have one anyways. All right, you're welcome.
Everyone's buying boxes.
You're welcome.
I've already sold the first case, and I'm getting 2 more next week. Erin is determined. She's determined to win. I'm like, yeah, but just understand.
Oh, there's a contest?
I know it's not a contest.
Oh.
To her, it doesn't matter.
If there's a contest, we'll have to buy some more.
The problem is the problem is for her, there isn't a contest.
Doesn't sound like a
But
problem.
everybody got a box, and if she sells hers first, in her head, then she's won. And you haven't won anything except for the pride that you sold, and the knowledge that realistically I've sold them all at this point. Although she will be going door to door because I believe that's always fun.
You are giving her an easy way out, but she still wants to do the work.
No, she's gonna go door to door, but
yeah.
I mean,
okay.
This is how it usually
very
goes.
popular. They're very, very popular.
They are, but I still like the other ones better. Trust me, I much prefer the others. Not even close. The chocolate and vanilla.
I don't mind these ones. They come to like little toothpaste.
It's not close.
I don't know.
It's not close.
Like mint ice cream is not my jam either.
Oh, Dijon mustard, that is absolute genius. I tell you, cannabis storefront cookies sell fast. Yeah, put on the Girl Guide uniform.
I mean, look, just because you're hanging out, I do agree with that, but I was going to say, just because you're hanging out at is everyone going to cannabis storefronts completely high? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, because it's not exactly how it works. Actually, outside of the LCBO is really effective. Because think of it, are you really going to deny a little kid after you just walked out and you've got booze in both hands It's like, yeah, here I am sitting there with like a couple of bottles of something, and then a little kid is like, I'm selling this.
I mean, if the guy's walking out with a joint in his mouth, maybe you could offer it to him. I would think that might be more likely. But okay, so here it is right now. Yes, sir. Well, this is just another way. This is just another way around this story here for IBIT. It's the 6250 does not hold it. We wrote down 6250 on the note. You know, so it's just like we wrote it down, went to the upside, fell back down in now. So here we go. Like, I mean, there, Neil, you would have had to eat the cookie anyways. There's my out.
Oh, I know. I was basically stacking the deck in my favor.
Right. So there it is right there
This is
into that as well. Thank you, Matthias Lanes there for the super chat. He is also supplying. I mean, if we could ship, it might be more, Matthias, wherever you're located. I know it's just for the fund. We'd like to ship you. I'm sure Neil would love to ship you a box, but unfortunately, that would probably be more expensive.
I will say, here's the thing, Matthias. I love like whether it's Cubs, Girl Guides. I think they're fantastic. Kids learn a lot. They learn discipline. They're also able to have fun with their friends. They learn lots of life skills. Like I did it when I was a kid. My dad was he was involved in it as well. So, you know, when he came here, he's like, this is such a great thing that they do. And he was involved in sort of the administrative side of it. And so my brother and I did it when we were kids, and I'm happy my daughter's doing it. So like, fine, you can donate to, I'm sure you can donate to like Girl Guides of America or whatever, or Scouts, whatever it might be. But we appreciate you guys so much.
That, yeah. I was a Scouts leader.
Yeah, you did it as well. Like,
yeah, I did. I was like a leader for a while. My thing was the owl. I forget what the.
What's his name? I used to know them all by heart.
Rourke, something like that. Whatever the owl was my leader name.
It'll bug me because when I was a kid, you used to know all. It was like a Kayla and
That's what it is.
And now I don't.
I'm looking in the chat, but nobody has any idea what it was. Okay, so anyways, yeah, whatever the owl is what I was. I could probably just look it up. Okay, my kids did Beavers and then into Scouts, and then they stopped. They're too busy with sports. So
once sports start,
can't keep doing it.
It's over.
Can't keep doing it. Okay, yeah, so here we go. So let's see what IBIT goes through. We just took another fill there at 26. So now we're going to hold it. We still have half left. Hopefully we do make the move to the downside. We're flat now because what we lost here, we're simply just making it back right now. So it's kind of sucky to do that. Like it's great to make it back, but it's too bad our first trade didn't work out. I would have liked to see it continue to run there. And of course, that's Bitcoin. This is 62.30s. I'm going to take another fill for another 10% here at 62.23. I know it's not huge, but we're just sort of trying to get going here. Let's see if there's any other names that are going around and up and down. So Palantir, we did get stopped out of our Tesla. We'll see how that looks right now. So there it is. It breaks through. I wasn't continuously, we could have done a little bit better and saved ourselves about $1 there because we were trying to follow that 200 period. The 21 period, but eventually it comes out at the 50 period. Downside play there. Okay, now we're starting to lose it a little bit on BTC, so a nice little move down there. 109.6 right now and going lower on crypto. So that's a good play. It's a good reversal. Thanks, Tony, in the chat for mentioning that may want to look at something like that. And there it goes. There's the breakdown. So yeah, we got it. That was a good one. Drop some money down for crypto and Bitcoin getting lower. We had a question earlier about Meta and what do we think about that? Down another 1% today, breaking below the 50-period moving average. And again, one of those Mag 7s that's not like the rest. I mean, there's some Mag 7s that have been near the top, and it was just here a week ago. So I shouldn't say that. I'll take that comment back. It's been a really strong stock, but 5 or 6 straight down days. If you look at the other ones, we'll look at Google just real quick right now. And there's ETFs for this. There's I think there is one like Mag 7 or something like that. But Google right here doesn't really. There's the 50-period moving average. The reason why it's so far away as opposed to Meta is Google's had this epic rise. So the 50-period moving average still has a lot of work to get back into it. Google right here, that day that we bumped through on, it wasn't even that day, I think it was down into here somewhere, where we bumped through the Judgment Day there. So that was a nice move. Oh, you never got Rapture,
Judgment
right?
Day.
Rapture was 2 days ago. The Rapture? Anyways, if we're all still here, no one got raptured.
Well, I guess
so
we're
that's
good.
It's good on that one. My kid came home and
I didn't
said,
see the Forestman.
He said something about it was Rapture Day. It must have been, I think it was 2 days ago. So as long as everyone's okay, everyone's still on.
Everyone seems like
here. Okay, so no one got that. All right, so that didn't happen, so that's okay. But that's what Google looks like right there. Microsoft has sort of gotten going a little bit here over the last couple of days, I thought. Anyways, Microsoft. So let's just see. Yeah, there it is. So nice little couple green candles. And again, you know, a blow off top there at 560 on earnings, and then right back into 500. So they are already retraced 10%. Microsoft did, and now they're still trying to figure that out. That's at the 50-period moving average. So actually, I guess there are a lot of Mag 7 names because we know Amazon is. We've been talking about that for a minute.
Yeah, no doubt Amazon.
And that's right there. That's below as well. And I guess the other name that's nowhere near, which is not a Mag 7 name, of course, but Palantir. Not that it's nowhere near. It could be down here in a minute, but 165, still $13 to the high side, looking to break through 188. And we know what Nvidia's been up to. Not a whole heck of a lot. So.
That's been a boring one.
Your account got raptured. Okay. Yeah, not great to have that happen. All right, now IBIT is finally starting to go.
I just jumped out of, Intel just turned before VWAP here. Buyer stepped in, 4 bottoming tail candles in a row, and the last one is enough. So when I see that kind of a bottoming tail with this setup, it's like out when it breaks the prior bar on the next one. So I might get back in at 36 on the short side of the trade, but for now, we'll jump out of the short. Bull still holds long, at least for now. Sushil, if you're asking about Duolingo.
Yeah, we already talked about this.
No, well, anybody that's tuning in just now.
Yeah, give it to him.
Like, okay, Duo's at the highs. I don't know how much of the spike you can attribute to EA, but certainly it's having a good day. It's up 2%. But there is speculation that EA Sports could be taken private. Anything related to online gaming has gotten a bump this afternoon at about the moment that was announced. This is really settling down now. But Duo, I'm kind of liking it. Like, my daughter loves Duo and Roblox. It's like, why not put that into her, whoops, it's Duo. Come on. I hit enter way too fast. Because there's actually a Duo. So if you just kind of, like I just did, hit enter way too fast, you go over. The wrong name, but Duolingo, I think it's going into a bit of a bottom. But I have to double check the valuation of this. Like, I don't want to be sitting there buying something which is way too frothy and speculative and something that you usually want to have a little bit of a security in an education account for your kids. You know, like dividend type names. Maybe if you're frisky, the indexes. Because the thing about it is, if you do like an education fund, if you're investing in one, you know exactly when it is that you have to use it. And because of the way the market works, like, you don't want to have at the wrong moment, right when you need to pull the money out for the education, that's when you get like some kind of a crazy correction. So a lot of times you want to make sure you have a pretty reasonable risk reward. It's early on, it's not the end of the world. Like, my daughter's pretty young, so it's like years before she'll need it. But as it gets closer, like those funds, when they get closer to needing the money, you want it to be a little bit more conservative at that point, because you need that cash. So you can put it into, you know, high dividend yielding, or sometimes people will just have like GICs by the end. Let's go over to Adara at the desk.
Snap here with a new product, SNAP on watch. Now they're introducing memories storage plans for their memories feature. So this basically means that if you have more than 5 gigabytes worth of storage, I guess, for memories, you're now can be on this storage plan to upgrade. The introductory plans will apparently offer 100 gigabytes, 200 gigabytes of Snapchat Plus, or 5 terabytes with Snapchat Platinum. So storage options if you use the memories feature on Snapchat a lot. SNAP on watch, guys. Back to you.
In that power move, and this has been a good accumulator down at the 7 level. My charts are in the afternoon mode. There you go. Now it's loading up. Anytime you see accumulation like this, the breakaway. It's always, there's your accumulation, there's your attempt at a break, there's your actual break. And you can have that at the close at 770. But somewhere in that day, you can have like a 750. And it's not just on stocks that are making bottoms. I mean, obviously, it's nice if a stock makes a bottom, but you can have accumulation like Palantir did the same setup. Accumulation. There's your, hey, we're trying to break. There is us confirming the break. There's even a dip buy in the prior lows. And then you go for a rally to the upside. Love that type of a setup 10 times out of 10. Let me just go back over. WeBull is really not doing anything. It's not doing much of anything. Like earlier, like when this broke VWAP before, it was like, okay, like we're ramping, and then you try to get back in and missed it there, able to get it there. But now you're just kind of going off VWAP and not moving too much. Intel's still not doing anything crazy. I just looked over and looked at the fuge.
Get excited, Rob. Come on, man.
No, apparently not. So I'm jumping out of WeBull here, break even. It's not moving much. So if it's just sitting there going in like a 10, 15 cent range, that's great. But, ooh, that was really good timing. But yeah, as I was saying, it just doesn't seem to have the juice. And now all of a sudden it's accelerating to the downside right after I got out. So I think that was probably the right decision to get out. I do want to jump back in on any pop back up into 36 on Intel to the short side, as that seems like it's running out of steam a little bit here. Yeah, Intel doesn't seem nearly as strong. It was all up most of the day, but I want to make another short in this one before the day's done.
Yeah, so I just, we are starting to get covered up here on, we went to 62.10. Oh, I'll put one at 62.13. All right, so we only have a third left. Yeah, I had to go get a coffee because having even just one of those cookies, coffee is good for that, so. Cheers, everybody. I think I've only had two. I was going to say, I had probably one coffee in the morning when I use the Yeti there, and then after that, man, I just find it's like it gets way too, coffee just gets way too cold. Like we have a big time situation here with the HVAC just dumping on us every day. All right, so just quickly here, 62.16. We're gonna bid out a little bit more there if we can get that. All right, let's go on. All right, let's go over to the, I don't know if Neil just did this because I was getting a coffee, but let me just see what you guys are talking about here on the stock visualizer. We did have EA Sports. Is that even open back up yet? I do apologize, I don't have anything in my ear, so if it does happen, we'll get that to you, but there it is. EA Sports, wow, okay. So the halt, did it open back up? It opened up like 30 minutes ago, where have I been? But there's the move up to 187. The fact that it halted there, that doesn't, we'll do that visualizer in a minute. This doesn't mean anything, basically, where it halted. This is just a reaction level there up to 180, right? Because it halts with news pending, and then we get the news, and now you're starting to go back there to said upside with Electronic Arts. So here's the story right here. So it is just very, very simple. Let's put it on here. So Electronic Arts shares are trading higher after the Wall Street Journal reported the company is near a roughly, so I'm guessing that 190, sorry, pulling up my socks, is about 50 billion. So there it goes, EA Sports. Nice little upside play there. And as we get more details flowing through, we'll do that. We'll get them to you. But I don't think it really matters what the eventual deal is. I mean, if it goes through, it goes through. There's nothing you could do now. You've already missed that move. You had to be sort of inside to be able to figure out if that was going to happen or not. Here's EA Sports right now. Let me get what its market value is. Oh, the market cap right now is 42 billion. So that would make sense. So bump that up 10% or so. 20% gets to 50 billion, right? So how much is the stock up right now? 13, so that's probably about right. So if the deal is around 50 billion, that's about 10% more than, sorry, I keep saying 10, 20% more than where it is right now. The PE, all that stuff doesn't matter. I think the deal is going to go through, and it looks like, you heard it here first, and it halted immediately. Nothing you could do about that. That very first candle, like it's doing no volume, boom. If you had like a scanner that was real super smart, maybe they would have been able to catch something there on that, but I think that would have been a lot to ask of a scanner. So that's the move there on EA. Congratulations, anybody that has that. I thought that Take-Two could have been also a move higher there, but it's come back only up 3%. Just because you're buying one company doesn't mean you're buying the next. The worry for me on Take-Two is how much money they spent on that Grand Theft Auto. All right, we got out at 438 there for Tesla. We can look again. My WeBull, that's too bad that we got out of that one earlier, but we did. Intel still holding out highs, man. Maybe we can look at that again, 35.55. I actually, good thing, thanks for reminding yourself, Sean. I need to get out of some Intel, like maybe right now, maybe even live on the show, because I really want to be a rules-based trader. And for me on Intel, there's Nvidia, by the way, still flat on the day. Intel 3560, yeah, so it actually gets into 36. And so my rule again is we got the first little tranche out. We're long at 1980. Good year. Right into there. $30 was the first out, And then right into here, we've already seen this high today. So I'm thinking like right into there was a good little level. That's 36 and change. That top is 35.50. That's right where we are right now. So to me, that's an out. So we should probably try to appreciate that and take it. So if we're able to do something like that on Intel, that's a good little level there. So maybe we'll do it after market or whatever. We're on the show right now. But that would be something to look for. Bitcoin 19,1095. Ethereum making moves as well. Is today an open door kind of day or a shut kind of day? Looks like a flat kind of a day. Like the door was open and then it was closed. Now it's open again. Down 5%, but it's off of highs. So that's nice. Opens up at 9.15, comes into 8.40. A lot of barcoding happening down there at 8.50. So I guess that's a level where it seems like it wants to land. And then yesterday's big runner, or the last couple days, was of course Lithium America, and that has pulled back quite dramatically today as well. So yeah, a couple, little bit of volume declining. I mean, only 73 million.
It's Friday afternoon.
As I was going to say, it's still a lot of shares, but I'm not expecting to have a whole heck of a lot of action there. We're 20 cents. Oh, we did get that fill there. We did get a 13 fill on IBIT. So we got a bunch more down here as we approach VWAP. So the long fail, the short, this. So yeah, it's just, you know, this is the problem with me in trading in the afternoon, especially on a Friday, when it's not that it's a shortened week or anything like that, but I feel like it's not a lot happening right now. I mean, look at the Nasdaq kind of flat here, and just trying to figure out if it wants to do anything. We're already up here. These are the same levels we were at 10 o'clock, and then we went whoosh to the downside. So underneath the 50-period moving average, I just wish there was more conviction in my voice as well, and in what I thought. I'm not convinced that this is downside, but I don't mind it. I think we could retrace the VWAP. There's only 30 minutes now until the imbalances, but I do think that this is a possibility right into there. If we can get a little bit of a move higher, short it against these highs, that might be a play. Or if you're in the futures right now, maybe the short against, you know, these highs right here. So give it about 30 handles or so. That could be a trade. But other than that, I'm kind of tapped out of ideas right this second. And let us know in the chat if there is anything that people want to do.
Shadow Rat says short Tesla. Some people, there's an interesting discussion happening on gaming in there. Some people are talking about Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, my son wants it like crazy, but he's only 13. So I'm like, I think Grand Theft Auto is going to come at probably a U18 or whatever.
Putting the kibosh on that for a while.
Well, I don't know. I want to see what the ratings actually are.
Right. Yeah.
Before I already told him no, but I want to see what they actually are before they physically are released.
That's fine. Like that's the thing. Like, I mean, parents know. Like you were saying, like you can say 18, but like you could have, your kid. I know, like my parents are the same way. Like some 14-year-olds, maybe they're not as mature, and other ones are very much so, or like 13, whatever.
He plays Valorant and all Fortnite and all that kind of stuff. It's more the SEX stuff that I'm worried about. I don't know what we can say on YouTube. I just don't know what we can. People just said the game takes place in Miami, so yeah, it's going to be.
See, it's such a parent thing, man. It's like old habits die hard. Why does this keep happening to my chat? There's not enough memory to open this page. All right. We like to have the chat open so I can see what you guys are talking about, but then it just keeps crashing on me. Thank you, YouTube.
My computer, I can't even load up my Bluetooth thing. I got to restart the whole computer. I wonder if there's like a system reset or something.
It's probably Chrome or something. I don't know. And I have to go back in and like log into it again. But yeah, someone had mentioned it. Someone put in the chat Amazon tanking, and then I looked over and Amazon wasn't tanking. But then I started that, like, do I see a trade there? And I like kind of don't. I'm not really that psyched for it. I mean, check what's OpenDoor. You mentioned OpenDoor. Like, what's Open doing?
I looked at it. It's down 5%.
That's not bad. Like, it just. This should have been a short here on OpenDoor. That could have been a short at 880.
Oh wow, JP Morgan today all-time highs.
Do not sleep on the banks.
Oh,
they be chilling.
Banks.
They're doing well. Things are going well for the banks. It's a license to print money. Shout out to you, SoFi. Oh, someone had asked a question before. I hadn't even logged back into the chat yet, but they were asking about, because I was in SoFi, and it was the exact same trade as WeBull, but with a different result. So if you see, this was the trade I had in SoFi. Like, buy support, hold VWAP, breakout away from VWAP. I zoomed in far. So breaks the consolidation above VWAP, Oddly enough, you know on my black chart, this broke VWAP when I got out, but apparently it didn't here, so that's kind of a really dumb stop out. But it's the same trade on WeBull. Like WeBull earlier on, a little bit more forceful because this was a momentum breakout, but just grabbing it above as it's going through VWAP and breaking out above and then trying to add continuation-wise. So it's a similar idea. One worked, one didn't work. And yeah, I feel I should always double check that volume-weighted average price. I could have also misplaced the stop because that bounced clean off the volume-weighted average price. So let us know what you guys are looking at. I need to jump back in the chat. And first, I actually have to be in the stream to do so.
So I was going to say, I'm going to switch my IBIT stop. We're now playing with house money, so it's all good. I'm going to actually flip it over to the 50-period moving average. So we can definitely make sure that we capture some kind of profit. I mean, we've already done it, but I just don't want it to get all the way back up. Our, what did I just do there? 62, oops, 62.33. Oh, that's right, stop 100%, okay. So we have the ability to have that key. You can just put it out and it will send out a market order. It's a marketable limit order. It doesn't just send out a complete market order. But so what a marketable limit order means is that once it hits my price, it will just send out probably like a 62.60 buy or something, which will swipe the level. And of course, with this much liquidity, we'll just get whatever's on the offer. So that's going to be the stop out right there. If we do take the 50-period moving average, that's generally, the 50-period moving average is like more of a trend follower, and I tried to put this 21 period to give myself some room, like a little bit more aggressive than the 50 period, so a little tighter to the actual move. And now that I look at what Tesla's doing, you know, I think that was probably a good call there following this. Like, so once you get these parabolic moves, maybe you try to watch out for that 21 period right there. You might be right there about this Tesla short, by the way. All right, so IBIT's coming back in. I'm just gonna put something on the bid here for another 5%. Okay, I'll just bid 20s now, see if we get that. But then that Tesla, so I just put it there, whatever. I mean, my next bid's at 10, so if we get the 20, we get the 20. But this Tesla could also be something. That's not a bad call on the short. It's just, it's traveled so far today.
This is the VWAP trend right here.
Right, so I could see this break happening real time. It looks like it's trying to go right now as well. So, I mean, yeah, nice little real-time break. Andre, you ready? Okay, I don't have anything in my ear, so you just say, go throw. Yes, okay, then let's throw to Adara.
CCX, Churchill Capital Corp. This one popping a little bit. It's a small cap, $680 million market cap, more or less here. Float. 41 million shares, insignificant short float. The reason this is running is because there's some speculation that CCCX and Nvidia are going to be in some type of partnership. Apparently, Churchill Capital is a quantum-related name, and the Nvidia blog has mentioned it. So pure speculation, but CCCX to the upside, and back to you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much there, Adara. So I might take a shot at this Tesla. The only thing that's giving me a bit of pause is like this is a trend on Tesla. This is a trend on Tesla since VWAP. The only thing is when it does this move, like it sets a different trend line, and that's really the break. I've had this conversation with Obi where like he's a proponent of like in here, add there. I'm more of a, well, the short's here kind of deal. But I might take a shot at this because the prior bar high is at like 438, so you're only risking a half of a dollar right now as I talk myself into it. And that was one, there was actually I'm trying to remember the stock. Off the top of my head, we were literally trading it in the afternoon, and it was similar to this, except both the trend lines were a little bit closer. And it's like, you know, I was talking about it, and he was kind of doing his own thing, and then the next thing you know was Obi, and the next thing you know, we were in at like 5 cents different because one trend line was like an all-day trend line, the other one was like from VWAP, and it was it was perfect. And then that's where he said, well, you should essentially just take both. The whole idea of sometimes if you treat yourself like an algo and you think it's an overall long or short, but there's like multiple setups, that could just mean you have multiple entries, right? Like you like the direction of the trade, but there might be 2 places to get in. Well, that could just mean that you get in half one place and half the next place. And that's the way algos tend to trade. They can do that. It's like 3 or 4 things simultaneously happening at once. For a human trader, you see your one position that you have, it can parse all 3 of them, even though it's all in the same stock at the same time. So I want to see this maybe give like a false break of 438 because it's a pretty tight stop to have an even dollar here. and then we'll jump in on the south side. Or it can just break this consolidation down, which it does not want to do on Tesla. It's just going sideways, which it shouldn't go sideways forever. I know it's a Friday afternoon, but it's not going to hold a 40-cent range forever here.
All right,
It's
so
5 at 92, by the way.
I have a new position. I know I'm going to catch some flack for this. Look, Tesla's an absolute monster. I have really, obviously, when you're taking $17 winners and you're catching this, it's going to be P&L number 1, 5, 6x, okay? But I'm going to just try to see if there is a little bit of a pull down here to close out the week. So I'm not trying to do anything rocket science related here, anything that's too complicated. All I'm trying to do is to see if, and again, so just so you know, I'm almost out of IBIT, okay? We talked about that. I have 25% left of this IBIT trade, and I still have 3 times the IBIT shares that I do on this Tesla trade right now. So this is actually going to come out pretty soon, actually. If we break this 50 period, I don't even want to be part of this anymore. So we're almost breaking it right now, 50s to the upside. So we're going to be out of this. So what we'll give back on this trade is about 3 to 4% of what we made on the day. So there it goes. Why did I not get stopped out there?
Mine hit.
438.51s. Yeah, okay, it should have.
I just got 50.
It should have got stopped out there. I think it's because I don't even have that many shares on board here. Okay, so IBIT is coming out, so I have to deal with this Tesla trade, but I'm going to give it a little bit more. I basically have no shares. That was right there. We'll try this right there in the 60s, and then it gets stopped out. What's that wick top there? 439.15. I think that's worth it. So 439. Here, I'll just show you guys live on the show. 439.16s right there. So now, all right, we'll try it. We're going to get something else short if we can. And then I'll just tell you right now, the amount of shares that we'll have on this trade is going to be probably like, well, I'm going to have to get one more fill, and I'm waiting for it right now at 438.70. So I will have about like 20, I guess, like not half a unit, like 25% of a unit or so on this if it goes. All right, and down here we had 1 unit on. So we didn't have, because we had more, but then remember I told you we got stopped out. Anyways, still, even with 1 unit, the damage was there. So we're just going to try this right now. There it goes right now. So it's going to break out. So you guys are right,
Look
100%.
At the buy.
Like people in the chat were like, Tesla's a long. You guys are 100% on that. Like, you know, great call out on that one. We have to hit the fail. That the net doesn't change. It changes a little bit. Obviously, we lose a little bit there. But meanwhile, IBIT just kind of crashed a little bit there. And by crash, I just mean it went from 25s down to 10s. So hopefully we can get a 12, which I'm now bidding. Maybe that 440 is the level there. That is the high for Tesla. We could give it another go. I mean, I know how much we just lost there. We lost about 5% of what we made that first way in and around. And sometimes getting bored about trading is not a great thing. And that's kind of what's been looking for a trade when there might have not been one. Someone said the Palantir short was a greater short. Yeah, maybe. I mean, either way, they're both really the reason.
That's the least I've seen Palantir move, and
that's what I was going to say. The reason why I pick on Tesla a little bit,
that's not moving.
It picks on me was at least because it was moving. I don't know if that's the case.
Palantir is a $180 stock that has moved less in the last 10 minutes than WeBull has.
Wow, IBIT is
like, let's be real. Someone asked if I think WeBull is a short here. Not really. It should have just been another long off VWAP like we've been doing all afternoon. Like, it's just, this is holding VWAPs. I should have just gone long again off the volume weighted average price. I don't know if we have enough time for that because it's almost 3:30. So, and I also thought that I could get back into the short on Intel after it bounced VWAP. It's not really bouncing that much. And I'm not I'll just zoom in because I can't get rid of that wick. So there hasn't been too much of there's just been not much of a bid since we got out of Intel. I don't want to just punch through the volume weighted average price to the south side. So I might just look for anything in front of 35.7. It's at 50s now, so I wouldn't have to move too much to give me the entry off of this 35.7 level. And again, someone says Amazon tanking, but
it's not.
I'm skeptical because that stock is probably not tanking. The only stock that has an early look imbalance that actually is somewhat interesting is QBTS. Has an early look imbalance of 1.2 million to the buy side. Oh, that's the Chamath SPAC has a buy imbalance.
Okay.
Of 1.2 million. So, well, I did talk about this briefly, and we probably should have covered this in the morning, regardless of what you think of Chamath. His new SPAC, American Exceptionalism Acquisition Corp, debuted today, And like all other SPACs, right? It's like the whole $10 and it opened up green at 1060 and only went to the upside. It's got a small buy imbalance on it right now. 10% of the daily volume is actually in the imbalance. 1.2 million buy imbalance. So this actually, I don't know, this was a good open trade. If you treated it like an IPO, the way I would look at the SPACs is if it opens underneath $10, then that's bad. If it opens above $10 and there's some hype on it, maybe it's worth the shot. And at some point, this will go from AEXA, American, whatever I said before, it'll go from that to they'll pick something that they actually want to combine with. And in the meantime, you can just hold on. And if you're unfamiliar with how SPACs work, when Chamath decides what they want to combine with, you always get the option of, do you just want to take your $10, your initial investment, or join with that company? So I actually don't know what he's looking at in particular, but it was successful. If you just treated it like an IPO, this did work out like the IPO trade. So the next time I see a hyped, or maybe like a hype backer on a SPAC, I think it's worth a look for a trade. Missed opportunity today, that's all.
Yep, and good luck. I didn't even realize that was an opportunity today.
Well, I didn't know until someone told me.
What are you going to do? All right, well, this is definitely the money trade of the afternoon. Obviously, it's the only one we just put on that Tesla, which I just wish I didn't do it in hindsight. Financially, it had almost zero effect there because I told you we only had 20% of a unit or 25% of a unit, so it was not a big deal there. So if it's 100 shares as a unit, we had 25. Like, that's kind of the math I'm trying to tell you. But here it comes right now, IBIT. There it is. We just get filled a little bit on the bid now, so let's just figure out what winds up happening if we get a move down or not here for IBIT. Sometimes we get filled on midpoints and stuff. So there it comes into 62 and change. So we'll have to wait. There it goes, 62.01s. So a big trade alert right there. Like, so this is what I'm talking about when you talk about risk management. Long out. So out at 40s off of some 50 longs. And then right now 40, what am I short? 37s. We actually should have broke it with it, but we waited a little bit. And then there's the short now back in for IBIT as we now have just about 10% left of that trade. Let me see if Tesla is falling off now. So it's still at that 440. What's Marvell doing? Oh boy. This was the long that we were building early on Marvell. It's back up to near highs a day. Let's see if that one can turn red or green, sorry. Nvidia, same way, just bounced off red to green again. So they went green, now back down into red with only a half hour left. I don't think there's any major rebalances or anything tonight, so we don't have too much to worry about. And then WeBull, like long, made money, got the long again, faded out through 1450, got stopped out, made the low of the day pretty much, and now WeBull back up 2.5. You know, I know you traded SoFi a little bit, but SoFi, WeBull, and Robinhood, all similar names, obviously, but SoFi today down again, you know, 29, great level, 30, great level. Looks like it wants to come back in. Not doing a whole heck of a lot right here, but I like SoFi, and I think that there's an opportunity to buy that on any weakness. Robinhood as well. Whoa, 121. Okay, that's getting hit pretty good. I didn't think we were down that far. It was yesterday was the bigger move. 127 down to 122, and today just trying to hold on. I think this is a short because you did get a huge bump up there due to the S&P inclusion. Now the fade is going to happen. I think you can run this back to 110. I think you can even see 110 by next Tuesday or Wednesday, like maybe even Monday. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with Robinhood, but it's really hasn't seen the 50-period moving average since April. And when it did, for some reason, I don't know if that was on the announcement. Maybe that was the announcement day, but nice little gap up there. That was 8th or 9th of September. So maybe the announcement might have been on the set. What is this day? Here, is this a weekend? And that always happens. Yeah, 5th. Yeah, so that's when it was. September 5th, I'd say it was probably mentioned to be added, and then that's the next day, and then there it is. So yeah, that would make sense to me. If that makes sense. If that was the case.
That makes sense. I won't even bother looking it up.
No. So I think that's it. So I would say that you could fill back into some of these levels, but if it does, then I like this name again over near the $100 mark. So.
There's been a couple. Someone's asking about a firm, which only because I had thoughts on this already, but where is it? It's Saram in the chat. Please suggest what to do with a firm, hold or sell. It's up to you. Everyone has to make their own decisions when it comes to hitting the keys. We can just look at the charts, or we can look at what we think of the stock, or what we think of the technicals. What I will tell you is, when we talked about this earlier in the week, I was mentioning not just the 50 period on a firm, but this trend from the April lows. Like the April lows trend line broke 2 days ago on a firm. And you've had 2 days worth of continuation, including losing the 50 period. So like as far as I was concerned, like it turned into this looks like a short here, and now it's just breaking down the 50 period again on a firm. So to me, this looks like a short, but you have to make your own decisions. Like the upward trend is broken. It's been a great trend on a firm, it actually tripled from the April lows, and it's just turning around, which is fine. It happens. Whether it holds bid at like 65 or the 200 period moving average, I have no idea. I think that would be an interesting spot because it's both support and it's a major moving average, which I'm generally a big fan of if you're looking to dip buy it. I'm not. If this was a stock I was, like if a firm was a stock I was trying to buy this year, then I'd be probably buying it at $60. But I'm not. So, that would be more of if you're short it, that would be kind of a target from a technical standpoint. All right, this could be the only pop that gets us back into Intel. We're able to crack it the first time. But if it breaks VWAP, I want to be in before.
All right.
So we're going to try and grab this one in front of that 35.6 and see if it wants to head down. It's not like the market's doing that much of anything.
Market's doing
but we have 15 minutes till the imbalances come in. So when the imbalances come in, I don't want to put anything new on unless it's an imbalance trade.
There's a wrap, Jack. There goes IBIT. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Drake there. But wow, we did it. That's all we can say. Shout out to Tony and anybody else that was thinking short with IBIT. So again, a level that we wrote down, have this ability. That's the only thing that I can tell you guys is that have the ability to not be completely anchored to your first thoughts. So just be careful about that one because this is right now, we talked about the long in IBIT and then we flipped the short. So I just want to show you only because it was right here, 6250 long. Let's play a breakout here on BTC. I mean, it was easy. It was 10 grand. We talked about it live on the show. I'm going to put the sticky note up every single day I'm here. And I started doing this. There's literally a box of 1,000 of them right beside me, of the old ones. And I was writing down my ideas on what I thought every day, and I kept on referring to it. And then eventually it was like, I'm just going to share it with everybody. And we called it the sticky note post. And there's 6250, I liked it as a breakout. I can show it to you over and over again. There it was right here. This is why we wrote it down. We came in this morning, it was down here. We talked about it potentially getting to that level. So there's the break. Unfortunately, it only goes to 6260. So we were able to get some of that. And we talked, even when we went in, I hope that all of you, even if the trades don't work out, I hope that you understand some of the logic, and that's, I think, what we're trying to do the best right there, right? So what's up, Zero Gravity Zen? I really appreciate that. You like the technical, you like the analysis there on Robinhood getting into 110, so I do appreciate that. But there it is right here, the break of 6250, right? So this is technical again. It breaks above phase. We said our risk was 15 cents, so let's take out some. We only took out 15%. Again, we talked about it when we did it. And then that was for that 1-to-1, and then it cracked, and then we lost on 85% of it. So that was red. So it puts us, red on IBIT on this trade. And then all of a sudden, I thought about it, and I was reading in the chat and everything, and it was like, maybe it's a short. And I was like, yeah, maybe it's a short. And if 6250 was a level that I liked, I just kind of was like getting into it. It's too bad because I actually had another offer right here at the 50 period that never got filled. And then boom, right there into the downside. So now I look over, and obviously IBIT now joins the green club as it makes that move all the way down. And how to expect how far it goes down. The first couple outs there at the 200 period. Then we got a bunch of outs just ahead of VWAP where it barcoded a little bit. We thought it was going to take the 21 period. We got more out. Then we get VWAP. Now we're getting underneath VWAP. And I'm just bidding these levels because really we don't have too much left. So we have about 10% left of this, actually a little bit less than 10%. So coming back into these areas, I'm going to put a stop right now at 62.10 for our last 10% on IBIT. So 62.11, stop out right there. If it flies through, it flies through, and it will stop us out. So far so good right there on IBIT. Looking lower right now, down 0.2. And I mean, here's crypto right now. And the reason why we liked it, this is just our program and our software is not set up really for crypto trading. It's a little bit different than how we have it. Sometimes we have to request the shorts on it. It's just a little bit of a not the greatest look. So we'll just trade IBIT instead and ETHA. You know, we do have the ability to trade Solana, Cardano, Ripple, and all that, but we can use the ETFs now, so that's what we choose. But this was the thing. There's the break of 110. We tried it. It doesn't work. There's the break back down. So now if you're going to hold anything, because we're off the air in 20 minutes, you may want to think about 109. So that's around this level. So we're getting close to there. 108.8 was the level that last held on Bitcoin. So if you're just going to, and I'm going to throw it back to Neil in 1 second, I just want to see what that might mean for IBIT. So yeah, probably down and around here. If we get to 61.70, let's just put a bid there. Let's go, let me put a bid at 61, let's put a bid at 61.80 and see if that fills. Let's get greedy with it, see if we get all the way down there and make it a little bit of a better trade. So that's what we're doing. Good pattern, good discipline. We're happy with that. Check back, and I said I'd throw it to Neil, but I lied, I guess. I just want to see Tesla before I forget. Okay, so still in and around 430. So that's what that is.
So I got to go to Coffee Trader, ask a question here. You said you asked Copilot who can go into the S&P 500 next, and these are the ones that came up with. SCCO, I don't know them. Ares, a few other names. Datadog already in. Roku. Thoughts on these stocks? I can't say there's a single one of them that I have a dog in the fight, like I'm a fan of the business or anything like that. What I would tell you is if you're looking to place a bet, I want to buy this company because I think the catalyst could be it gets added to the S&P 500. Kalshi, the growth in Kalshi in terms of how much volume, dollar volume they're doing in these event betting markets, it's huge. And let's be real, it's like crowdsourcing the truth. And the last couple of S&P 500 editions, the leader on this list has been right. Now, granted, it says S&P 500 this year, so sometimes you'll see some ones that are already in. But I said Carvana, 38%. I was right about that, but it's not number one. It's actually Ares Management. Is 65% shot. So this is where I would go to look if I was interested in what might get added to the index and looking for a trade based on that. And again, sometimes it's like when I tell there's a buddy I try to explain this to all the time when he's playing fantasy. I'm like, well, if you he'll think oh, this player is going to do this season. I'm like, well, this is what his Vegas prop is from receptions. How do you think this guy can get 100 catches when the Vegas prop's 73? Right. That's better. The Vegas props, it's better than the projections of some dude at Pro Football Focus. They are. The betting markets get it much better. And I think the same thing with Kalshi. I don't know. I don't necessarily think MSTR would go in, but if the betting markets put it at a reasonable chance, and I think it has a reasonable chance because the crowdsource is smarter than me. So have a look at that. I think it can help out, and let's go to Adara.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here. Definitely check us out on the Market Recap Show. Here's a preview. We're going to talk a little bit about the TikTok deal. Brand new infographic on X at TTV Research. In case you're wondering about the colors, these are the exact colors of the TikTok logo. So definitely check this out. X at TTV Research if you want a little bit more context and color about this TikTok deal. Back to you.
We're just saying about how it's also in fantasy. It's important to be subjective to not, if you own Cheniere Energy, you're going to be thinking that
exactly,
and you're going to do the research. You're going to say, oh, Cheniere's going to get at it, right? But then it doesn't, and then you're like, oh man.
The context was, I'll just say exactly what the context was.
Yeah, it's fine.
There was a guy in our league wanted to trade me Lad McConkey, and he was going on about how.
Well, who were you thinking about giving up for that?
We were talking running back. Okay. We never really got that far because once I realized what he thought of his production, and then he was like, oh, he's going to be as good as Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's a similar breakout play. And I'm like, oh, look at their reception props on the year and look at their yard props. They're not even in the same tier, and that's Vegas. This is not me being biased about it because I'm trading for the guy. This is what Vegas is. So I always try to go back to that when you're trading with somebody. If they're being unreasonable, just try to find some kind of a reasonable source. But it ended up not working out because he inflates his guys a lot. The guy.
Yeah. And the other thing too is and you also have to understand. And this is another point. Maybe we could try to bring this to fantasy as well. It's you have to understand as well who's around. JSN, there's not too many other guys to throw the ball to. This for some reason, Quentin Johnson and all these guys seem to be getting some love there from my boy Herbert. But
not that makes sense.
And remember, into the S&P 500 can also be plays that regard similar indices. So if something comes out, similar sectors, if something comes out that's a financial, I think it's more likely, I don't know the the mathematics work or how the constitution of the S&P 500 works, but
so like if EA is
speaking, it'll go. Yeah, well, if EA Sports gets bought out, you know, so that would have to come out, right? And so would they put like another consumer discretionary in there, or would they put a financial? Remember, it's 500 companies, so it's not, you know, they do have a.
They have a lot of leeway when it comes to that, and they don't have to. The other thing is they don't have to explain themselves. They just kind of pick who they pick outside of the whole profitability rules. Like they don't really come up with some gigantic explanation with what they do, but there tends to be some kind of logic. So yeah, there's a chance that MSTR could go. Mr. Duckett's add BBAI, the rip would be crazy. Oh, of course. Look, if a stock like that, I mean,
could you imagine?
Oh, that would be insanity. But that would, I mean, it's not. They can't. It doesn't qualify yet.
No, BBAI, they don't even make money.
You got to make money.
They don't.
You got to make money for a year.
You got to go 5 straight quarters.
That being said, if you really like a name and you think it's like, this is the bad example, I shouldn't leave it on the BBAI chart, but I can't think of something else on the top of my head. But like Uber would have been a really good example of like when people could see the turn coming. Like you wanted to buy Uber when it first, like forget about a full year, like 4 or 5 quarters of profitability. Like you wanted to grab that one after the first and second, you know, like that type of a thing. So I'm kind of disappointed that SoFi is not on any short list, but that's just how it is. And at some point they will have their day, like Robinhood did. So 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go through the imbalances. QBTS still the biggest, 1.2. I mean. CNQ's there, but you know that's probably doesn't matter and usually pairs off. QBTS, the biggest buy and balance, 1.3 million shares. I think that has relative size that could matter. It's still a $27 stock, and over $1 million is pretty good for them. It's not moving now, but worth keeping an eye on. And then AMZN, that is the Chamath SPAC for an early look buy, but that doesn't really matter either. Yeah, nothing crazy. Oh shoot, I'm looking at FTI, and that's just reminded me of something. I gotta do this for myself because we missed a really easy trade.
Oh no!
I mean, a very, very easy trade. Remember that 12 break on Ford?
Yeah.
So remember that we've been talking about $12 on Ford for a while.
Boo-hoo! It went to what, 12.05?
No, it went to 12.30 clean.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay.
Like this, and this is the thing. Like
that's pretty good.
Like this was at 11. Like the actual break happens like somewhere in here, so like 11:03. Like the exact moment that we're wrapping up the morning show and generally speaking, like transitioning to I'm gonna get up and grab my lunch or whatever. Like it's the last moment that I'm looking to take a breakout trade. It's just a horrible timing. But it was very clean if you took that 12 break. And it's more about look, the why there was a lot of interest in that possibly giving you a nice little scalp trade was the level that it is on the daily chart. Like it's a lot of resistance up here at 12. It's not going to close above. It might close above 12. I shouldn't say it's not. It's at 12.01. It's trying to close at the $12 level. Like look at that, all that resistance, and it's just barcoding this 12 level. That's a Friday. There's probably a bunch of options at $12 at that strike. So it was a good breakout trade on Ford, but I missed it. Unfortunately, hopefully somebody scalped that one as well. WAP girl in the chat. LAC, is this a hold for the long term?
Yes.
I think this, anytime the U.S. government is like, we like the company and we want to buy it, and you're talking about a good space, now buying it at the absolute top.
Like I don't own any of it.
I don't know if that's going to be the best play, but like the same way, like I felt MP is a long-term hold, but I didn't want to buy a bunch at the 50 period because I thought it was too high, so I bought like 10% of a position just so I'd be in it because I want to buy it for the long term. So I do think LSE can be a long-term hold. I just don't like it 2 days after it made the top. I'd love to see it. Like the move happened when it was at $3. I'd like to see it do like a settle down phase, right? And then show me where the dip comes in. Like we're still kind of in discovery mode, I want to say, for LAC. So yeah, I mean I couldn't say I would buy it here, but if it was MP, I might take like 10%. Like MP Materials was kind of a missed opportunity for me at the 50 period.
You could buy both. You could buy like a little bit of MP and a
no, but I don't want the. I don't want it. Yeah, but I'm saying
Yeah.
you can buy a little bit if you want it.
There
But like
goes
MP,
IBIT.
well, down 10% too today. MP Materials. This could be SSR on Monday.
So Tesla,
Glad I
might
That's
be.
close to
Tesla
10
faded off 440, so congratulations
course
anybody
it
that
did.
wrote that. I mean, my short would have now been in the money, but what are you going to do? Like, You can look back and say that about pretty much anybody's trade. All right, Ozan, here we go, man. You want something to be done with Reddit? So this is what Ozan wants me to do. Do something.
What's wrong with Reddit?
Stuck in this range, it looks like. So there you go, Ozan. Let's see what happens with Reddit. 280 pullback all the way down to 220. Again, a big growth stock, right? I mean, their PE is through the roof as well. But I've said this before. I said this when I was down here at $100, that I thought Reddit had a lot of room to run because their advertising business. And I just don't think that there's a lot of companies that even reach out to Reddit right now. I think it's still very much Instagram and TikTok and wherever else the social media money is going. I have no idea where else. Google AdWords, YouTube, things like that. I just think that Reddit was a very undervalued, basically social media. It's not really social media, I get it. It's an app that has news and has like-minded, what do they call them? Groups. There's not groups, but something else. But anyways, as threads? Reddits? No. Not circles. What do you, thread? I think it's a thread.
Is it a thread?
Anyway.
Yeah, they are threads. I mean, that's what they physically are. Subreddits, that's what. Forums is the better word.
Forum is a good word.
I'm just reading the chat, by the way.
Yeah. That's why I sort of slow down, because I know eventually when the feed catches up, everyone will be like, this guy's an idiot. They're just forums. So there it is. So, but yeah, and I just thought that was just a misunderstood thing. So right into there, that's 136 break was completely gold. I mean, even if you don't even wait for that and you sort of get this garbage out of here, and then you take this break as well. But anyways, Ozan and everybody else, great move up there for Reddit. I'd say if you're not in it, let it cool down, because honestly, there's earnings, the next round of earnings is just around the corner. So you got to watch out for that. There's IBIT, man.
Another one.
It's a good one right there as we went bearish on Reddit. So that was a good trade here to end of the day for me.
IBIT.
And here we go, man. 10 seconds.
You said Reddit.
Go ahead. Yeah.
10 seconds.
You can talk about it. I don't know.
Well, I'll get to, thank you for the super chat, David. We'll get to that in just 2 seconds because the imbalances are about to hit. And the imbalances are now out. So what's there? Nothing over. Oh, there we go.
What's up with balances?
That's not much of anything.
D-Wave.
D-Wave 1.1 million.
Today.
That's about it. That's it. D-Wave. KO 1 million to the sell side. That's pretty bland. So kind of a nothing burger.
I mean, knock you out.
I guess maybe.
KO'd.
Grab 750,000 to the sell side. Not a single. There's Intel for 600,000, but it's to the buy side, so I'll punch out flat of a short. Yeah, nothing. A little bit of a nothing burger on the imbalances, everybody. I'd say that's a little disappointing, but I wanted to get to the super chat because David just literally just had this, and I think it's a really good point. Apparently there's a couple, so I'll double check. Okay. Might have missed one. Dave's smart trade of the day. Usually it's David's silly trade of the day. No, but this is a good one. Right, did not trade one thing today. Head wasn't in it. Next week watching OKLO and MP. See, that's perfectly fine. If you don't see anything, then don't do it. If you're not feeling, if you don't ever read, then nothing there.
Smart trade day was to do nothing. Okay.
I actually just wrote MP on my iPad because now I'm looking at that as well after seeing that 10% move. There in Oklo has been down a bajillion% the last couple of days, so I think that makes some sense to watch next week. And because we might have missed another super chat, I'm just going to quickly find it live. Is Amazon good long? Thank you, Christopher Mulligan. Is Amazon a good long here at a discount price? My rule of thumb is, if I like this stock forever and want more of it, and it gets to the 200 period moving average, I'm buying it. Full disclosure, I did this when it had its earnings. So, I already did it. But yeah, like, do I like Amazon at the 200 period moving average? Yep. And I already bought it at the 200 period moving average the last time it was here. So that's just my 2 cents. But it's very different when you're holding forever than if you're like, can I buy it here and sell it tomorrow? That's a very different story, right? So just as long as you understand, I think it's a good discount. Some of the beating up, they paid like a $2.5 billion fine. That's a slap on the wrist. People are worried about the cloud growth, but they got a million levers that they can pull. Some issues with the worries about the consumer, I would understand. Well, right now, I think the biggest thing that had happened to them was the beat up. Every single time a major cloud provider reported the comparison to Amazon, their last quarter growth, which was like 18% or something year over year, someone else just beat them. and everyone else was in the 20s, or I think Microsoft actually was over 30% growth. And that's what they get beat up for, because 18% isn't good enough. 18% is fantastic when they got a bunch of other things that levers that they can also pull. So I like them there at the 200 period moving average. As I said, I already bought there myself.
Yeah, you just bought a couple days ago, right? And it's right where it is. I think this is good enough. Like this level, if you always wait for the ultimate bottom.
I mean, effectively, yeah, it's a thing. Come back to the chart for a second. Like, effectively, it's like you're splitting hairs to say the 200 period's at 215 or this bounce is at 218.60. So if I'm holding for a really long term, it's the same thing. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like when I see it dip down in there, like that's the 200 period moving average. It doesn't have to get to the exact price because it's not like I'm getting out of it the next day or anything like that. So it's not the same as support resistance trading, but yeah. Only about a minute and a half until these, oh, that wasn't there before. So Nvidia is a 1.9 million sell. That was not there at 3 o'clock or at 350, but now Nvidia is a sell of 2 million shares. That just popped up. We've seen this before. Apple now all of a sudden is there at 1.1 million, so a couple of sell imbalances late. Nvidia barely moved. So Nvidia does absolutely nothing on that sell imbalance. But every now and then it's worth checking, a minute or so after 350, you might see some of the Nasdaq names lag a little bit on the imbalance locator.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, not much. So I just took another piece out on IBIT. Now we're very, very light and not really doing anything with IBIT. So I'm just going to stop out of the rest. I just put a bid, not stop out, bid out. I just put a bid right now at 61.95. Make sure, everybody, thanks for watching with us and thanks for rocking with us again all week. And we appreciate that. And, the only thing, one last time, we haven't asked you at all today, which is not why, I don't know how many, let me just refresh that. I was going to say we must have more than 69er right there. How many likes do we have? 411. Okay, that's pretty bad. If you guys can hit the like button, let's get it going now. We haven't asked at all. This morning I asked, and you guys delivered. So I want to say thank you for all of that. So thank you for everything. Join Adara and myself, and then I believe Steve Tileman will be coming through today. I feel like he is coming through today from Trade the Pool to talk everything that I want him to talk about, because I just ask him questions and he answers. So shout out to Steve. Thanks for being a great guest. And he's going to be coming on today again at around 4:15, and we'll talk to him for 10 minutes or so. Adara and I will review all the big stories of the day. So, join us. No major earnings or anything tonight, obviously, but we do appreciate everybody staying late. And, we'll do that. And we'll talk about the major stories, including Intel, including these guys building a monster wall of something behind us. There it is, man. There is the out right there of...
It's nothing happening there.
IBIT. Yeah,
nothing.
Do not look at Brendan standing there. Brendan is now the new supervisor because Randy's not
Well, Randy's
here.
got time. Randy, it's Friday.
Brendan has to supervise.
It's Friday.
So that's what he's doing right now. So we say thank you to Brendan for supervising.
Yes.
And yeah.
Hopefully, if you have the opportunity, I know we do it, trading with your own money can be dangerous. You can trade with someone else's capital. It's an easier way to trade. That way you have less fear of losing. That way you're not moving your stop loss too soon out of fear. And on top of this, you can end up getting enough capital to make it worth your time. So you can aim for bigger profits, not just a couple $100 a month. This revolution is called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. So this is how it works. Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, and keep 70% of the profits. Simple as that. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. So I want to thank Trade the Pool for sponsoring that segment of the show. And I'm going to, thank you. I don't mind if I do. I'm just going to have two. Ramin, literally, this is how nice Ramin. So I know Shreve bags on Ramin, but she just walked over and handed me like chocolate almonds because she's sweet and she's very nice and kind and always sharing. Before we go to Adara for news, Micron just popped $2 or $1.50 right at the end of the day here. I do believe we're supposed to go up to Adara in a quick little second, but Micron rallying just went red to green going into the close. I didn't see it on the locator, so it might be something unrelated to an imbalance here for Micron, which just popped up for sure. So yeah, Micron making a rally at the end of the day. Are we going to Adara? I thought. Yeah, let's go to Adara at the desk.
Yeah, keep an eye here on the Nasdaq. We're getting more tariff reports. Donald Trump's administration reportedly considering tariffs on foreign electronic devices based on the number of chips in each device. So they're basically going to be tariffed per chip is the proposal here from the Trump administration. Hello, Sean. Again, guys, keep an eye on any of these foreign companies that have chips in their products. Trump administration considering putting tariffs on these electronic devices based on the number of chips per device. Back to you.
And there you go. That is why we have Adara, because that would have obviously explained what just happened in Micron. That massive spike that you can see just there. Wow, that's a little bit intense. That is literally everybody. Oh no, WeBull went as well. That's got to double check there. Only about 2 minutes to go. Yeah, there goes WeBull. 4% today for WeBull. Not bad at all for these guys. I think this is, we were talking about like things that are on the verge of going. Yeah, this looks pretty good. You get that close above the 50-period moving average. I think this is going to make its run to that $18 to $19 level again that we just recently saw. So good look for them. But yeah, but the story just there. Wow, Micron, the U.S. mulling new chip content tariffs. It's like everything's got chips in them. Micron moon to said upside. And remember, it's not like, yeah, you're not like almost every single thing that we have is interconnected now. And chips run the world. So we'll see. We've seen this before where if you overreact to any kind of tariff news, you can somewhat get burned. But a good look here for Micron as it spikes on that headline, a couple of bucks. Yeah, didn't see that happening. It's how you know, like, looked over, it wasn't an imbalance. There had to be a story on Micron because there was no buy imbalance. Only seconds left here in the day, about 30 seconds to go. Thank you, guys. It's been a fun one. Don't remember, you're not going anywhere in a couple of minutes here. You get to have Sean, you still get to have Adara, and then I believe Steve as well. Ask questions, go over the week, prepare for next week as well. As Merkis says, OpenDoor is going to be its moon. It's moon time for OpenDoor. Maybe it is moon day for OpenDoor, but you can also ring this bell. Brought to you by VFS, and that is VinFast. Scan that QR code for more information. And let's, excuse me, as I choke on that chocolate almond that I was just eating, which was delicious, by the way. Thank you, Romain. Maybe it is moon day for OpenDoor next week. You never know. But what you do know is that if you stick around here, we'll always talk about what's moving, possibly traded as well, depending if it sets us up. And I'll let you know that OpenDoor closed only down 3%. It was down a heck of a lot more than that. Could have been worse, could have been LAC. So thank you, everybody. But as I said, you're still locked and loaded, ready to go. Don't go anywhere because the market recap show is going to have Adara, Sean, and Steve Tileman. Get your questions ready. Review of the overall markets, including the story that just dropped on all chips. I mean, all new chip content tariffs.
Besides,
and just mulling it. It's nothing official just yet. So the Commerce Department's considering a tariff on imports based on the value of their chip content, which could be wild. That's going to affect so many things. So you have all weekend to stew about that. I'm sure discussed at the desk as well. So your market recap show, Sean Adara, Steve Talman, is going to start now. Lots to cover. Enjoy.
I know, I don't think you're supposed to do that. We were just discussing putting Q-tips.
It was a weird conversation, yeah.
Yeah, because I told Ramin that I don't have anything in my ear besides wax, and that was kind of gross. And then I was like, but I actually,
fun, but yeah.
It was okay. And then I actually, every morning when I shower, I get out of the shower, and then I have like a little routine. I brush my teeth, and then I put some sort of face cream on or whatever, and then I do the Q-tips in the ears.
We need to get ready with me, Sean edition. We need to get ready with me. You've just teased your get ready.
I mean, if the camera followed me around, I mean, I think that we could bust out these ratings. Yo, what's going on, Andre? I hope you're all good there. That was a nice move there. He just went like
he just
underneath.
Under the thing.
Yeah, he did like, awesome. You know, that whole thing where you're like the elevator and you're going down it. I can't, I'm not in enough good shape to do that. But shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. One more time. Adara, how was your day?
My day was the day. And now it's over, and I'm ready for the weekend. I'm feeling a little tired.
All right, shut the stream. Let's go. We're out of here.
Okay, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh,
I just meant, goodbye.
Uh-oh,
no,
sorry.
I'm just excited to go over all these names with you guys. It's been a really eventful day. I like to see all of the many beverages I'm relying on over here, so shout out to water and
yeah, you got a coffee, a water? What is that, a little Starbucks action going on?
No, that is a Tim Hortons ice cap.
Oh, ice cap.
But yeah, no, I think like there's a lot of stories here to go over, Sean. And again, we got that big one with chips at the end of the day. Another kind of story where I'm a little bit confused as to how they're going to actually impose or enforce this, but the Trump administration reportedly considering putting tariffs on foreign electronic products based on the amount of chips per product.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. That's pretty interesting there. And you were mentioning like who's going to wind up counting all of that
Right.
and
Like,
getting that all figured out.
Is it going to be Howard Lutnick? Like, who's going to be counting these?
Right, today's big stories, of course, we had that Trump with TikTok, right? We're going to talk about Oracle in just a couple of seconds, see how that looks and how that feels right now for Oracle. It's actually, you would think it would be good news, but it seems like it's a little bit downside action. We do want to remind everybody, thank you for watching, but we also want to thank our big sponsor, GlobalX. Thank you for sponsoring the show, and go make sure you do check out their Beta Pro 3x levered product. And you can also scan that right there to grab our watch list. And that's kind of some of the stuff that we're going to be doing right now, going over the top stories tonight, and then we'll have Steve Tileman come through, and we'll look at some technical levels of some names. So if there is anybody there in the chat, let me know. Adair and I are watching out for this, and if there's any names that you want to talk about, that's good. Boeing today as well. So, all right, let's just go. We can go over to my screen, and I'll just run through this real quickly, unless you have, do we provide a, oh, you have this infographic. All right, let's go over to Adair's screen then. It's a little bit better for what we're doing right now. So, okay, yeah, we'll just talk about this. So we do have, obviously, there, you talked about drugs, trucks, and furniture. Oh my, as that's been a big play today. As many different names, Ford, GM, Wayfair as well. They got what you need today. And RH, former Restoration Hardware, all moving around on some of this news. There's the TikTok sale valued at over $14 billion. We will, is this the fade? Okay.
Oh,
well, what's going on there?
It's you and the info.
No, forget about it. Go back to that info. All right, here we go. I like what you're trying to do there, but Boeing strikes a deal as well, so we'll have to figure out about that, although it's Boeing strike continues, but they did get a deal there with Turkey, so we'll have a quick check on what's going on with Boeing shares as well. And then there it is, man, that one-to-one domestic chip play that we were sort of just mentioning benefits today, big time Intel, and we'll have another look over there at Intel. Costco, I mean, I'm going to hit the fail button because it was down about 3% today, but not a horrible report for Costco. We are going to go over that as well. Then CNCX, again, big approval there, so we'll go over that stock. And then, of course...
Sorry, I got the ticker on that one wrong. It's CRNX. I kind of married two tickers in my head. That's my bad.
Because yesterday we had CNXC or something, right? With earnings.
So that's, I think, why my brain married tickers, but it is CRNX. I do apologize.
CRNX, we'll go over that as well. And then activist investor there. I didn't hear anything about fund, Six Flags.
Nor did I, but I guess some activist investors are having fun in this
game.
Right.
You know what we did hear about, though? You're talking about some sort of out of the blue movement that just happened to me and Neil while we were trading live, was EA Sports. So yes, it's in the game, and today it's in the stock. Right now, EA Sports up another 15% here today, but it's not up because they released a new game. It's not up because there's word that maybe Josh Allen will be on the cover of the new Madden game.
Is that true?
No. But Neil's still here, so I made sure to tell him that. Maybe Josh Allen is already...
He keeps making deals, though, because he made the SoFi deal, right? Did he not? And then he had another deal as well. Like, it makes sense.
NFL MVP Josh Allen.
Right. Which he is an NFL MVP.
Well, yeah, I know Neil told me that.
I mean, not Super Bowl winning Josh Allen.
He's not pulling, like,
Right. He's not...
Call him SG...
He's not...
SGA. He's not pulling an SGA here.
Right, of course not. SGA is a champion.
Yeah, he got the double, though. He got the double MVP.
Neil's removing the Green Bay thing. And by the way, this is my Josh Allen thing, by the way. Come on, Neil.
That doesn't look like Josh Allen.
Come on, Ramin. This is too...
But doesn't he have facial hair? I've seen photos.
This is just a random white guy. This is not... This is
I thought it was supposed to be Josh Allen.
It is supposed to be Josh Allen, but just a Josh Allen jersey.
Oh, okay, never mind.
All right, anyways.
Let's get back to the market, I guess.
See ya.
Oh my God, you just threw him.
Yeah, I just threw him around. There, but that's mine. If it was Neil, I would not have thrown that. Okay, so that's what we're doing right there. Let's go over and start talking about some of these deals. Okay, so that's EA Sports going upside. What happened to Oracle today, man? I mean, Oracle goes boom. Nice move down that 2.76%. Of course, Trump talking all about everything today. And part of it, yesterday, they signed at this time of night, right? It was right about now, where he signed that deal with Oracle, coming through now, talking about TikTok, talking about everything. It looks like Dell might have got involved with that as well.
Yeah, there's some.
So we're seeing with Michael Dell, there's a nice downside move. And Ramin is running the board, but Adara has this up right there.
Yeah, those are the TikTok brand colors too, guys. I had a lot of fun with this. But yeah, as you can see, Dell was kind of involved. Trump said that he was part of the deal. Oracle, Trump, and JD Vance both said we're going to be a huge part of the deal. And then between Oracle, MGX, and Silver Lake, they're going to reportedly control a combined 45%. That's because they split up evenly. So Oracle reportedly having 15%, MGX 15%, Silver Lake 15%. ByteDance will retain a stake that is less than 20%.
All right, so Boeing, yeah, thanks for that. So that's a little bit of a review there on the Oracle and TikTok and what that deal means. You know, doesn't look like it's going to mean that much for Oracle, other than the fact that we know they're going to be hosting the data, and that algorithm, very, very key, as ByteDance, of course, keeps a piece of action there. All right, as we had there, the Boeing strike, pretty interesting there. The Boeing strike right now enters, we have written down here 53 days, but you can see Boeing's been hit here. So this is just a daily chart. If you go back 53 days, obviously it's going to be back into here. There's the news, nice little move back down in from 240, back down to 220. It makes its way right back in there, and then now the fall down recently on Boeing here, but they get an order today from Turkish Airlines and Norwegian Air, which boosts long-term outlook there for Boeing. So the more deals they can wind up grabbing, the better it seems like it is there for Boeing. A nice move today, up 3.5%. But what I want to talk about was just look at this chart. It was pretty choppy all day. I mean, the move really does happen right there at 8 a.m. when that announcement comes through. Market opens up and actually starts to sell off at 9:30. We do regain some of the day's high, but at the end of it all, just kind of finish in the middle for Boeing. You like this deal? I mean, it makes sense, right? The more airplanes they can sell, the better.
Well, I was saying on the midday, I actually think this is less of why Boeing ran today. I think the real reason that Boeing was up today was because the FAA, after 6 years of not allowing them to do any kind of airworthiness certification on their own for their planes, they're now allowing Boeing to issue their own airworthiness certification for certain 737s and certain 787s. Again, this is after a 6-year moratorium. So Boeing being able to issue at least some of these certificates shows that the FAA trusts them, Sean, and I think that's probably the biggest step to them getting back in the air on a larger scale. Now, each deal matters, but just being able to sign off on more of these vehicles, have the FAA say, hey, Kelly Ortberg and co., I don't think you're going to, have a plane blow up in the air. So I actually think it's a good look.
So that Turkish airline is actually the largest there, 150 737s they're looking for, as well as so far they've logged 725 gross orders year to date, which is outpacing Airbus. So Boeing they're definitely doing the right thing. It's just a matter of, again, making sure that they can produce those planes. So the strike definitely hitting them faux show. Okay, yesterday at this time again, we had Costco, and Costco, again, we love shopping there. It's a great, I think yesterday they have shrimp tacos. We had some of those a couple days ago. My wife went to Costco. I like it. It's a good spot. Obviously, a lot of their memberships continue to grow as well for Costco. They're not changing that $1.50, but they are getting a little bit of a haircut today, down 3%. And of course, yesterday, their EPS better expected revenues as well. They beat both on the top and the bottom line, and their income was up 8.1% year over year. Their membership fee income jumped 14%. So memberships also going to the high side as well. And e-commerce, which was nice. And I actually, every single day, here's a story to tell you. I just got an email about an hour ago. My Costco delivery that I ordered online got delivered to the house. And it was, every morning I have greens.
Okay, like kale?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like powder mixed greens. It has
powdered, yeah.
Yeah, I think it has like 1,400 different nutrients in it. Probably not that many, Adara. And then dump it in there. I think the wife mixes it with a little bit of collagen or something like that into a big water bottle, mix it up, down the hatch, ordered that from Costco. So there you go. Delivery was a couple days. It's definitely not Amazon-like. If you're ordering something from Costco, I think it's still, 3 to 5 days or so. It's not overnight.
Prime is impressive.
But we got the deal. Get to the Costco website. Very easy. The app. Order it on the app. Very easy to do. I don't really order anything online anymore. Do you? I'm only using my phone.
So I've been called out by people in this chat, I think fairly, as being a bit of a Luddite. I'm really behind on my phone. I am not the most tech savvy of people. Everyone on the tech team, including Ramin, who's running the board today, can attest I have asked them very dumb tech questions. So yeah, I'm not the person to ask you. If I can get something in person, I'd rather get it in person. I am reluctantly becoming, more familiar with technology and ordering things online, but if I don't have
Reluctantly?
I like using Canva and stuff for my infographics like that, but it's like if I have to order versus go in store, why wouldn't I go in store? I walk everywhere. I can get a nice walk in, I can listen to music, and I can enjoy the Toronto air. I don't know. Long story short, no, I don't really order online.
If you're enjoying the Toronto air, you're a few amongst people enjoying the Toronto air.
I said that out loud, and then I was like, really bad.
No, Toronto air is fine, of course. Yeah. Much nicer up north. I mean, we were just up north last weekend. Gorgeous. That drive up to 400 and everything is so, especially nowadays, fall is my favorite season.
Same.
The
Yeah,
way
we talked about this.
the leaves and yeah, we talked. Okay, I guess that's your idea of move on. Okay,
Well,
so
I
let's
didn't
move
know
on.
like that.
All right, yeah, I get it, Adair. I get it, Adair. Okay. All right, so that's that. Costco obviously breaking out. Let's just go over to the chart just real quickly. It's actually breaking down, not breaking out.
Yeah.
So there you go. I catch myself saying the wrong thing again. Breaking back down below. You got to look out though. I do think that Costco is getting near a buying spot, but we know that consumers not overly strong right now. There's a couple reads there on retail sales. A couple weeks back weren't the strongest. So here it comes to the downside. Although names like Visa and MasterCard remain pretty high, we still do see a nice little drop down there. And it's the tale of multiple stores here, because if Costco's down, Walmart should be down too, right? But Walmart actually, if you're looking on the daily chart, although not up today, we'll call it a flat day, it's been doing okay, man. Walmart near the high. So I said, what about a rotation? We're always trying to find a little bit of opportunity here. Let's just say you had 100 shares of Walmart, drop it down to 50 and maybe buy some Costco. Get some value in Costco. If it comes back up to the upside, I think there's an opportunity there to be involved with Costco. Okay, we are getting ready. We should still have Steve Talman coming on in just a couple seconds. So when that happens, that will happen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what was that story about Six Flags? Because I didn't hear anything about that. So Cedar Fair right now, it's not an overly expensive stock. It was up 4% today. The reason why I ask you is it's been a huge downside play for fun, which is Cedar Fair.
Yeah.
We do have it up on there, but flip over to my screen just real quickly here, Ramin, and then I'll show everybody. This is what it looks like on a daily chart. The reason why I bring this up is what a destruction here. This goes all the way back to December of 2024, where you had a top of around $50. We did come back in February again and make that, so just a couple months later, wick that top, and then it's like whoosh to the downside. So this stock is down about 50% or more year to date. So I'm wondering what this story is with Cedar Fair.
Okay, so it's kind of weird. There's an activist investor that I've never heard of by the name of Land and Buildings Investment Management, and they issued a public letter, and they're saying, hey, company, Six Flags, please monetize your real estate assets. So of all of the reasons to get involved in a company, from an activist perspective, I've never heard of you should be monetizing your real estate. But hey, that was their argument. They said that Six Flags can have up to 68% upside if they follow their plan. It seems a little lofty, but either way, it certainly is on watch, and I guess this stock might be on a roller coaster next week if this story continues. And I know that was a really low-hanging fruit pun, but that's what we do here.
That was all right. I don't mind it. Okay, so that was, interesting play. The reason why I think we talk about that, obviously, as we go on, is the fact that it's been so beat up, and a lot of people are looking for, hey, what's up, BTCC? Looking for a little bit of value in these markets. Maybe there is some of that with Cedar and Fun, symbol Fun. So, okay, just quick.
Cedar Fair was isn't Cedar Fair the...
I think they own Wonderland.
Do they? Okay, look, I know Cedar Fair owns Wonderland because I got a job with them, but I didn't think that was the same as Six Flags.
Are you leaving us? You got a job with them?
No, a while ago.
Oh, a while ago.
I didn't even take the job. I was hired, but I didn't want to take it. But I'll look up if they own Cedar Fair as well.
Yeah, no, they do, because
They do? I didn't know that. Okay.
the reason why, so my kids this year got memberships to Canada's Wonderland.
And it charged Six Flags.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even, honestly, when the credit card, I don't know what gets charged on that thing. But what I'm saying is it came in, you get I think it was like one free Cedar Fair thing as well. It's all like,
And
it's all
also
loop.
Six Flags. Okay, I didn't know
Six
that.
Flags. That's.
I had no idea. Okay, good to
Get
know.
Ramina mic. Okay, just quickly here. This seems like a lot to me. I want to know your opinion, and then we'll get Steve on here too. But Amazon, is that a thumbs up for Steve? He's here, right? Ramin, I can't say anything. Okay, there's some thumbs up. Okay, he's here. All right, Amazon today. Isn't this expensive? $2.5 billion. So it looks like they're going to pay $2.5 billion in fines, which is 1.5 in fines, 1 billion in restitution. I don't even know what that means, to settle FTC allegations of duping customers into Prime subscriptions and making cancellations difficult. Cry me a river, says Justin Timberlake. I think that is, you can sing it as well, it's fine. I think that is a little bit too much.
I agree.
Like 2.5 billion, like you have to be duping a hell of a lot of customers in for that to be a reasonable fine. But at the end of the day, Amazon has enough. I mean, Jeff Bezos how much does he put in gas into his multiple yachts? He could probably afford this himself. Well, for sure he could. But this is the largest FTC fine ever levied.
Yeah.
So that is an absolute monster. I did not think that would be something there. Amazon just has to now add a simple cancel button on their Prime, I guess their drop down or whatever. So you know what? Amazon being up today actually surprises me a little bit. I thought that was a little bit too harsh for them, but the fact of the matter is, Adara, it's now in the rearview mirror. And I think that that's something that we can now base Amazon not on, pending, DOJ or FTC. Well, this is just an FTC thing. Well, hopefully the Department of Justice doesn't investigate anything else. But
well, they have their own ongoing antitrust issue as well, which is not related to this.
Okay, so there you go. So I don't know, dude. Doesn't that seem like a little bit too too large there?
I kind of said the same thing that you were saying with regards to this is now in the past. For Amazon, to quote Mac Miller, RIP, leave it all in the rear view, which I actually think Amazon is doing here with this situation. Now, why, Sean? Because their antitrust case, which they are still going to face, that is actually not related to this. This is a completely separate issue. So they, honestly, at this point, this is something that's in the past. They need to make those changes, which I'm sure they will. And the fact that they settled it means that they want to get over it too, which I think is a good sign. Now, they still have to face the other allegations, but we know Google did fairly well with its antitrust concerns. Let's see if Amazon can have the same fate. But I think this story is now book closed, page over, done. Next.
Next story would be Steve. Are we ready for Steve? Because if we are, I'm going to bring him on. We are ready for our Mitch Trader Talk. Let's bring on Steve Talman. Hey, Steve, how you doing, my guy?
Hey, doing great. That's a catchy little theme song there, I gotta say.
Steve, for you? Yeah, it's not bad. We have quite the team around here doing these little things. We have many different little bumpers like that is what we call them around here. But we want to welcome you in again every single Friday. Thank you for continuously doing this. Again, Steve Talman from Trade the Pool, an analyst over there at Trade the Pool. Let's get this over with right now because I always ask you at the end. We have the most amount of viewers right now. So after this, are you doing a stream and where can traders find you sub 4:30?
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'll be right on over at Trade the Pool's YouTube channel. You can find us there on the live tab. We are going to be doing in-depth, kind of more intermediate to advanced lesson on mastering the market profile. So this is a tool I use every single day. It's how I caught the move in SPY yesterday. It's how I caught it today. We're going to be walking through those trades and a whole lot more. So definitely come on by. Thank you. Okay, perfect. I'm going to ask you at the end to review one of those trades to give people a little piece of what you're going to be talking about. Okay, I don't know. You and I always talk about crypto, right? I mean, we go back and forth, and you've had opinions on the space, obviously, and been well versed in it. So I'm going to ask you one more time here again today. We did get a little bit of a dip down there in Bitcoin. I mean, here's the chart. This is a 15-minute chart of BTC. I was looking at it today, Steve, and I actually had two trades. I took the long once it broke right here, 110, thinking, okay, we're going to break 110. Maybe the bulls are back and we get back up here, 11, 12, something like that. Unfortunately, it happens right at the end of the day, which I don't know if this is something to do with open markets, but it does fall all the way back in. Finally seems to find a base in and around 109, but I don't know. This is looking a little dangerous if we break in and around that 108 or so. I know we'll maybe look at this as on a daily chart, but it's up to you. Whatever way you want to look at this. This right here to me looks like support, but I really think that this 200 period and in around 103, 104 might be the stopping zone for crypto. Should we be worried right now? What are your thoughts about the space? We could talk about BTC, Ethereum, Solana, anything you want. For me, it's a little disappointing that it's such a drawdown here in the whole space. Absolutely. So I think crypto is in an interesting space right now, and it's in a confusing space. Everybody I hear who's really involved in the space is even a little bit confused about directionality and where to put their money to work. For me, this is similar to when Bitcoin was trading in this kind of zone here between the 101 and the 110. So it's kind of no man's land for me. What I'm watching here is I'm watching how it reacts to this zone into the previous highs. I want to see this find some actual substantial buyers better than this kind of candle we got today. What I'm really looking for, though, is there's confluence with my trigger system here at meaningful support at 106, 107K. And that does correlate with right about the top of this zone here and the top of this volume shelf. So that's the area I'm looking to get involved. For Ethereum, I think that it's a very similar look. We have the same retest into major highs. We got the nice clean Elliott wave, five wave here, a little bit of a correction. So now I'm watching. I think we're close, but we could run stops again pretty deep to 3,500.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at here.
Yeah, I agree. I think the pullback there in Ethereum is going to be a little bit more dramatic. And the reason why I feel like for Ethereum, obviously we had BMNR and some of these treasuries and Tom Lee and some other, heads sort of going ahead and kind of, I don't want to say like propping it up, but that's really what got it going, I feel like, because we had quite a nice move from 2,500 all the way up to 5,000. So a pullback in Ethereum, I think, is going to be more dramatic because Bitcoin kind of just went up. I mean, we obviously have MSTR, MicroStrategy, and that's been all, a forever buyer of Bitcoin. But these treasuries have really sort of sent the market a little bit in tizzy. You ever trade any of those? We had QMMM last week, BMNR. Is that something that you stay away from, or you're in there for the intraday and maybe not for a long time?
Oh man, Sean, I try to stay away, but it's hard in this market environment. So I'm dipping my toes in BMNR. I took a starter too early, about 55. I added when it dipped down to 45, I was scared down at 40. So I got a decent cost basis. I think it's looking okay. And this is the tool I want to use to trade Ethereum. I'm a Tom Lee enjoyer. I'm a Tom Lee believer, so I'm here to ride with it. That being said, you got to be careful because there's so many of these small caps that are trying to time these treasury announcements. Yeah. And, it's really like a hit or miss. I took a small loss on a calculated gamble on PSQH. Oh, yeah. Supposed to have that announcement. It seems like the market's starting to get a little bit wiser to these kind of moves.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think a lot of these moves obviously are done in the pre-market, I find. Like, as soon as the announcement's made, like if you're not right all over them, then I almost feel like you're slow to the move and people are just using you for exit liquidity. So we'll move off of that, and I think it's a great opportunity for people to trade, but trade them early, and then maybe when the stocks are halting over and over and over again, for me, it's not really my cup of tea. Too hard to properly manage risk unless you lower your share size and just have fun with it. So I think you and I are on the same page. All right, this Lithium of America stock. I mean, all of a sudden, we get a huge bump. I mean, we've seen this before. The playbook to me was an MP, right? When you had MP Materials there, starting to go to the upside when we heard about the U.S. government taking a stake in there. We know how important minerals and metals are going to be, especially as we continue to move forward with obviously these chips being built, of stateside. They want to have as much of the materials here, and acquiring stakes in these companies continues to be important. We have the EV plays as well. They're going to be using lithium. So what do you think about LAC right now? I still think there's more room to go because I'm using MP as a base. It started here, it went here, and then it keeps on going higher despite, the U.S. already having their stake. So LAC, a little bit of a pullback from 8 to 650 here. I think it's getting close to a buy zone. What does Steve think?
Great question. So first off, I think you're right. There's room on this guy. This is an explosive mover, and with these gaps, it's going to create opportunities to get in. So you see this on almost all of these gappy, crazy momentum stocks. And right now, we are seeing a retest of a pretty key imbalance. So an imbalance, for those who aren't familiar, is when there is a close of a candle and a gap between the open, and that forms an area. I kind of like to think of it as with a paint roller. If you're painting a wall with a paint roller too fast, there's going to be bubbles. And then if you want to do a good job, you got to come back and fill those in. So that's what we're seeing on LAC. And that means that this is an area to watch. Just charting on the fly here, you see this really nice volume shelf. Let me mark that out. Where's my tool? There it is. This is the area I want to focus on here. We're starting to trade into it, this 575 to 620 zone. I'm really going to keep an eye, especially on that point of control right at 6, which makes it nice and easy, right? So if it undercuts and reclaims 6, I'm probably going to be a participant. But there are some other names I'm looking at in the space if you're interested too.
I thank you so much here for being with us, Steve. We have someone in the chat asking about the technicals in LMT. Lockheed Martin, this defense space has been really hot. We know Boeing's defense space made a deal with Palantir. So what are your thoughts on LMT at these levels?
I mean, I'm a bull. So first off, you can't fade the defense industry, especially in times of geopolitical uncertainty. These are very high quality companies, and they've been trading relatively sideways for quite a while. I mean, sorry, this is a very marked up chart. I've traded this quite a bit, but what I'm seeing is a nice double, call it a triple bottom, if you will, off of a long-term base, and we are starting to push out. So these are some of my favorite setups for catching really substantial moves. When you get these breakouts from this substantial bases, you can catch a really nice move. So I love this stock. I think it's a good buy and hold, and I think the whole sector is somewhere you want to have some money in.
Steve, we sort of had that question lined up for you, but I am actually interested to hear your take. Give me another name in this space there, because MP and LAC are sort of already gone. What's something else that we can look at?
Great. I'm glad you're interested, because I'm really interested in this one. I have a decent position that I started today on USAR. So This is going to be the speculative name in the minerals, rare earth minerals basket. They refine in the United States like the leader in MP. What you're getting here is you're getting a lot of leverage and a lot of kind of high beta speculation in the sector here. So if it keeps going, this could break out majorly. Its whole price history is one big base. So I love the look of this one. I got involved when it retested the 9-day EMA right here and held. So I got involved about 670-ish, I want to say, right around there. And I'm feeling pretty good about a move to 18 to 20 next week to test the highs of the range.
I look at this daily chart on USAR. Doesn't it look curious to you? Like, I don't know, like, you know, up, back in, up, back in, up, back in, up, back in, up. Is the next move not to 15 right here? I don't know. It just seems, I wonder what's up with this. It seems like very manipulated stock, but I think you're right. You know, if you're in the right space, you're in the right space. And right now breaking higher, I mean, look, if you bought this at any time during any of those dips, you're in. So I think that was a great call right down there on USAR. Wow, man, time flies when you're having fun. It's already 4:28 here, Steve. All right, let's talk about something else. So you have your stream later on tonight. What are you going to be talking about for those that are maybe watching now that might have missed what you said 10 minutes ago? And then give us a little bit of a sneak peek on some of the technicals and what the charts look like.
Sure thing. I know we're running short on time. Can I give you one trade idea too, just because I got it loaded up here?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, so energy, super hot right now. I think we want to get a piece of this for a big major move. I have a position in Chevron. It's not acting great. I like my position in DVN, Devon Energy more. I'm watching this whole basket, though. I think they can really make explosive moves with this nice pennant break on XLE. So definitely keep an eye on that sector there.
Okay.
As for what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing a lot of market profile work.
Okay.
And for those who aren't familiar, a market profile is something that looks a little bit like this.
That.
Here.
Yep.
So it's going to give you a really good idea of where the shares traded in the day. And we can use the profile of one day's price action to predict the next day's price action. You want me to walk you through what I did with the trade today?
Sure, yeah, let's go and give the viewers an idea, so then they'll join you guys after this.
Awesome, great. So yesterday, the big thing I was noting is that bears fumbled the ball. They could not push us past this key zone here. If we zoom out just a little bit, we can see that it's quite a notable zone here. Where we were previously flagging, we pushed off. We even wicked back into it before pushing off. So this area of interest here around 656-ish, that was really important to me to hold. When we held that, I was starting to watch the volume profile building out on the day. And what did we see? We saw a nice P shape here.
Right.
And the P shape is when you got the nice rounded part here and then the little part there. Mm-hmm. And so what that's telling me is that the majority of the shares are trading at a premium of the range. And that tells me that the market is going to want to expand upwards and use this area as a base. So we had our closing price. We gapped up in the morning. Crazy move that I missed. But when it came knifing back down, I was saying, hey, I'm not sure we're done yet. So I wanted to see if I could get involved right off the previous highs. And it gave us perfect entries right there off of the previous volume shelf.
Yeah,
and if we catch there, first off, it's a really nice place to define risk. You can just put a stop right under the pre-market lows. And it gave this explosive move to the upside. We were a little bit aggressive. We did some 660 zero DTEs, and those went from 60 cents to, oh boy, I took them off at 200%. They kept going like 500, 600%. So you can catch really good moves here, and I want to teach people how to do this consistently.
No, I mean, that looks great. I was going to say, like, if that happens often, I'm all aboard, man. I love the volume profile, and I consider myself like a support and resistance trader, and that's just use that as that, right? Like, that's where the support is. Yesterday's volume spike, wherever the shares are traded most. I love that. I'm going to start looking at the volume profile myself. So everyone can join. Go over to the Trade the Pool website. There's going to be a link there. It's going to be on YouTube, I believe, right? That's where you guys stream from? All right, so go find Steve Tileman, Google him, look it all up. We want to thank you and your Trade the Pool team for continuously supporting us here at Trader TV Live as well. And we've got Mitch coming through, man. Mitch is coming on October the 14th. I wish you were coming down up as well. Maybe next time, make the trip. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll encourage everybody to swoop over and watch you discuss market profile.
Thanks so much, Sean.
Thanks, Steve. Have a great weekend. Ciao, my friend. There's that bumper again.
Yeah.
I love the market profile talk because it's something that we don't, I'm not even sure it's available on our P Pro.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, on our P8 system. So it just basically shows you where most of the shares were traded. So that's why when those red areas was just showing you that, hey, on a day when maybe shares have done 1 million shares, 500,000 of them were done within this 10 cents, and then 200,000 up here and whatever. So what he's trying to say is that there's a lot of support at those big volume areas, and we want to thank Steve for coming through again and again and again. All right. These are your weekend plans.
Sleeping, and right now I kind of want brisket.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you? Ooh, brisket.
I don't know. I've been craving brisket the past 2 days, and I'm like, I may as well just do it.
There's a great, I forget what it's called.
Where did you say, Ramin?
Northern Smokes.
I've never heard of them. I like Miznone. Miznone's
yes,
really good.
right here. Up, just walk up to Bay, and it's right there.
Oh my God.
Get it, bring it home.
Bloor, like around there?
It's just north.
Okay, that's perfect.
It's Bay, just north of Bloor, like 1 block, not even.
Honestly,
on the west side.
I think I'm going to do this.
Wrong, on the east side.
Okay.
Straight up.
Pardon?
What, Ramin? Oh, Herreco has a Michelin.
I'll look into Herreco too.
Ramin only eats at Michelin star
but
places.
Ramin's recommendations are solid, so I will look.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the recommendation. I'm saying that I don't know where her place is located to. Scarborough. You can't pay me to go to Scarborough. So, okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope I didn't offend anybody. I try not to go east of Yonge unless I really have to.
Well, I mean, honestly, I live in downtown, so.
There's nothing wrong with east. I'm just saying.
Also, where are your plans for the weekend?
I'm west side. You know what I'm saying? West side till we die.
Oh boy. What are your weekend plans,
or until I move, one of those things. Yeah, not much. Today we have, so it's a little bit of hockey. Gonna go visit my parents. Gonna go visit my grandmother's 95.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna go visit her. I'm gonna try to visit them as much as possible. Bring my kids over there, see what's going on. Awesome. Big football game Sunday night with the Packers, Cowboys. But yeah, just kind of just chilling out. It was busy. Last week we were traveling a couple of 5 hours north, and so that was fun, but you know, not fun traveling. So yeah, having a lot of fun. And now that you mentioned brisket, I'm going to risk it for the brisket, and maybe we'll see if we can have some as well. So, all right, thank you, everybody, for joining us one more time here today. This has been your recap show. Thank you to GlobalX for sponsoring. Thank you to Steve for coming through as well. Thank you for Adara for all your hard work. Thanks, Ramin, for staying late with us. And from everybody else that's watching, thank you for staying late. We're back.
We are.
We're back, 8:30. You know, on Monday. And guess what? The market's going to open an hour after that, and then we're going to have some trades to talk about.
And Carnival Cruise Line's earnings will come out at some point before the open, out of nowhere, because that's what they do at CC.
And make sure you do scan the QR code. There's a link in the description to get our watch list, because we are about to change the way that watch list is done. So make sure that you do. Oh yeah, my bad. I'll tell you about after. I didn't even know that. Okay. So make sure that you do check that out, and you know, sign up immediately for all of that. We're very excited. So that's Adara. I'm Sean. Everybody, please have a great weekend.
Please
Ciao.
do, guys. Au revoir.